Hey guys, welcome to the pre-show. I'm Jason from the digital team, and you, of course, know Ebony Steele, and we're here with our good friend.
Hey guys, I'm Stephanie.
Stephanie Jones is joining us. As you
Hello.
know, Tori's on vacation. Stephanie's from London, so she's very fancy. But Tori's away
I'm
in
not
Cape Cod.
fancy.
She is. We love her.
You can't have
No.
that accent and
You
say
can't
you're
not
not fancy.
fancy.
Honestly, if you're from the United Kingdom, anyone watching, you'll know that I've got a
I've
Yorkshire
heard some
accent.
not fancy.
I'm not fancy.
No. There's some not fancy British accents. This is a fancy British accent.
This is fancy.
This is fancy.
I'll take it.
So Tori's on vacation, but we're gonna lead. I'm gonna let these two women handle the topics of the day, which are really interesting. The St. Louis one is
Very good.
really
Yeah, they are.
interesting,
Well,
so-
the two of them, I'll tell you what they are.
Thank
Thank you so much, Jason. So St. Louis is removing questions about criminal history on job applications.
Wow.
We're going to talk about that. And
Yeah.
sharing your dog across households is like a new thing. We'll get into the details
I
of
do
that.
that.
Do you do it?
I do. We'll come on to it.
Okay,
we'll come on to
well,
that.
we'll talk about that.
I'm
So,
one of those.
there was an executive order that was signed to remove all questions about criminal history from job applications for government jobs. What is it like in the UK?
This would never happen. I think also it depends what kind of job we're going for. If you're going to be a waitress, I don't think that's going to be a topic that will come up. Whereas if you're going to be working around children, you're in schools, you're in healthcare, where you're dealing with people in an intimate manner.
Right.
It's simply there's no getting around that. You're going to have your background checked.
Okay, and it does go on to say that it does not fully eliminate questions about criminal past, but it does delay the questions until further in the work process. How does it, I mean, the way that it stands now, can people put that they are a felon and get a regular job in the UK?
Again, I think it depends what kind of job you're wanting to go into.
Right.
Some jobs wouldn't ask the question, but there is a box on a lot of applications that you have to tick, and you have to detail what those offences may be.
So do you think this will help ex-criminals like get back on their feet and get acclimated back into society
Well,
after they serve their time?
I think after someone served their time, obviously dependent on what that is, everyone should be given a second chance.
And I guess you hear so many times about people that have served their time, and not so much that they change, but I mean, let's say you serve a sentence of 8 to 10 years.
Yeah.
You got a lot of time to think about your life and
Of
what you
course.
did wrong and what you may want to do once you get out. So a lot of times people get further education,
Of course.
or may even become saved as far as the law,
Of
as their
course.
Christianity or their religion may change. So what happens when they get out and, you kind of think about those people, I'm ready to do it, get my family back, and boom, I can't get a job because
See,
of this tick on my...
See, if that does happen, that can force people to go back into maybe if they've come from a background in crime.
Something that they're used to.
Yeah, because they don't know what to do. They can't finance their lives. They can't support themselves or their families. So I think people do need a break. People do need to be given a second chance and wipe the slate clean. Again, I think it depends what it is. If there's someone who has had maybe allegations against children, should they
Right.
be working in school? No.
Right.
If it's someone who maybe has committed a small offence, maybe they've stolen something in the past.
Right.
We can learn from that. Maybe it was a bad situation at the time. Maybe they were pressurised. You don't know, so don't judge anyone by things that have happened to them.
Okay,
and
let me
give
ask
them
you
a
this.
chance.
Now we've established that you're fancy. You can say otherwise, but she's beautiful
No.
inside and out, and we know you as a fashionista. So if you were given $150,000 to open, you already like that.
I'm like, well, tell me now.
To start any type of business, what would that be? If you could start your own business.
Oh wow. Well, obviously, I would definitely have a digital business because I think the future is digital.
Okay.
Ooh, this is a real tough question. Maybe my own online kind of fashion boutique where
Right.
I can get in lots of different brands and style people online.
Love
Give
it.
them fashion tips.
And how many employees would you probably have working for you to help you out?
To start with, maybe like 3 or 4.
Okay, I went all the way around the world, but my point is, would you want to know whether or not the people that you hired for this business had a criminal background? Would that be important to you, or would it be more based on their talent and what they presented
For
in their
me,
interview?
it wouldn't be the first question I'd ask. It would be how I felt around them as a person, what their aura was like, what their energy was like, what their enthusiasm was like, what skills they could bring to the table.
Okay.
And I'd like to get I'd like to get to know them first, and then if a red flag was raised,
Right.
and maybe they said something, or I don't know, then we can cross that bridge when it comes to it. But for me personally, for that particular industry, no, I think, give
It'd be
everyone a fair
okay.
chance.
I agree.
Yeah.
So let's look online. You guys hit us up. We're going to be talking about this during the show. I'm sure you guys have a lot to say about this because all of us know, or even if we haven't been in that situation, know someone that has been.
It's a particularly American problem too, because we have the largest incarceration rate of any country in the world.
There you go.
And as a result of that, this box on our application is actually causing a labor shortage.
Right.
Because people who have been incarcerated for minor offenses aren't getting jobs because of the box.
Maybe there needs to be a different kind of system of, depending on the level of the offence, whether or not you have to declare it. In the UK, if it's been a certain amount of time, so let's say, do you have a fray here? A fray is where you might have a bit of a scuffle, a bit of a fight, disturbance of the peace.
Right.
An
And
assault
so it
or
could
something.
be some guys getting a bit rowdy on a night out. They've had a bit of a drink and it's gone a bit too far.
Right.
So for instance, after 6 years, that's completely wiped off your record,
Right.
and you no longer have to declare it full stop. It doesn't exist.
Right.
So-
I like that. I think that's fair.
I mean, you have to believe that
do we
there
have
are
any
good
comments?
people.
We do. So Crystal Nicole Langley on Facebook says, yes, who wants to hire a thief at a bank or a child molester at daycare?
That makes
Daycare's
sense.
a very special situation.
It is.
Kimberly
Or a bank.
M says, I really think it depends on the severity or the type of the crime. In addition, most background checks only go back 5 to 7 years depending on the job. When I was younger, I got a DUI and found it difficult to find a job after college.
Wow.
Even though after the whole court and jail experience, I learned from my horrible lapse in judgment that I would never do it again, and it was really frustrating.
And that person was in college when they had a DUI.
Well, right.
You
That's
see
what
what
I mean. People make mistakes
That's
in life. Should
irresponsible,
that
but, yeah.
follow you all the way through?
Exactly.
I mean,
You're in your 40s and can't get a job
because of a
something you
DUI
did
from college.
In
Seems a
college.
little-
Wow.
Yeah, Dallas Street on YouTube is saying, if you don't give people with a criminal background a second chance,
Right.
how are they supposed to better their lives? Everyone makes mistakes and they shouldn't have to pay for them forever.
All right.
I agree.
We're going to be talking
good.
about that today, so make sure you guys keep hitting us up, and we're going to move on. And once again, this is St. Louis is only doing this.
Now,
but
California did it, pass it last year. They banned
Really?
the box last year.
Right, because that's
So
what it's
this
called,
is new.
ban the box.
Yeah.
But St. Louis and
California.
California, they are actually aiming to give people with a past conviction record a fair chance. So tell us what you think, and we've got mixed reviews.
Good
so
idea, bad idea,
thank
we
you.
wanna know.
All right, so sharing your dog across households, that is a new thing now. It's like a doggy daycare, but without paying the 25 to 30 fee, and the dog is dropped off with a loving family. So it's just like house sharing or ride sharing. People may ride to work together. You can now dog share. So you
Okay.
said you do this.
I do this mainly because I'm transatlantic, so I'm between the States and the UK. And when I come to the States, I don't want to put my dog in distress. I don't want to have to bring him on a plane and him feel really uncomfortable. And so I leave him with my mum. My mum has another dog.
Oh, and they get to play together.
They play, and like he goes around there all the time. When I'm at home, I go visit, and I take my dog and he hangs out with her dog, and they're like best friends.
You know what we call that? Country cousins. It's like, because when you're in the
cousins.
country, you say like Leo right here. Wave, Leo. Leo's my cousin, even though we work together. Country cousins are kids
Love it.
that play together, and we say, oh, that's my play cousin, that's my play cousin.
Exactly.
So, do you think it's a great option for people who can't fully commit to having a full-time pet? And some may ask, is this fair to the pet? Should they be dropped off with other dogs because you travel? Do you ever feel guilty because of this?
I think, so before I started coming to the States more regularly, if I did have to leave my dog with anyone, it would go to like a professional dog minder, dog sitter. But I personally wouldn't feel comfortable just giving my dog to someone
Somebody
who
you
I
didn't
don't
know.
really
Because
know.
it's like your child.
Exactly.
You're not just going to give
He's
it to
my
anybody.
little fur baby, right? So I can't just hand him over to someone who I don't trust. It has to be someone that's taken him out on a walk, that's familiar with animals, that's comfortable walking him.
Right, and just so you guys know that there's a website. This lady actually found families by posting an ad on a private Facebook group and on nextdoor.com. That's a website, nextdoor.com, describing her dog, what its needs were, saying no kids if they had kids, so maybe try this out. And we're going to talk about that. So St. Louis, removing questions about criminal history on job apps and sharing your dog across households.
What do you
Tell
think?
us what you think, all right?
I love
My
it.
girl, and we're going to get the show started in just a minute. I'm Ebony Steele. This is Stephanie Jones.
Hello.
She's fancy.
I'm not. She keeps saying
She
that.
just,
I'm
you
not.
can't say that after you say hello. Hello.
See
I
you
love you,
later.
girl. She's awesome.
Today on Daily Blast Live, Donald Trump goes one-on-one with Kim Jong-Un. Just a historic photo op or the start of a new relationship? A young woman abducted at birth still loves her kidnapper and calls her mom. And DBL Nation is outraged. Plus, something at work could be making you fat. What to watch for? And a surefire shortcut to dry those dishes. What was this dad thinking? Daily Blast Live starts right now.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Tuesday, June 12th. Let's get right into it because right now the world is definitely reacting to the historic summit between President Donald Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. The two world leaders met in Singapore for nearly 5 hours, and the summit ended with a signed statement. Now, Trump agreed to provide security guarantees to North Korea, and Kim committed to complete denuclearization. And afterwards, ABC's George Stephanopoulos asked the president, how can he trust the North Korean leader? Here's what the president said.
Over my lifetime, I've done a lot of deals with a lot of people, and sometimes the people that you most distrust turn out to be the most honorable ones, and the people that you do trust, they are not the honorable ones. So we are starting from a very high plane. We're starting from a very good relationship. This has been a very big day in terms of the world. I think it's been a lot of people are saying it's historic.
We're all calling it historic.
All right, so many people are saying, how can he trust Kim Jong-un, especially considering his history, his human rights record, his history with South Korea? What would you say to that?
I would say you can't. You can't. But I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I'm saying they're putting their best foot forward to denuclearize North Korea. This is a good thing. I understand people have their problem with Trump and they don't like what he's doing. But we always talk about doing something and moving forward with something. I think Trump's doing that here. Could you trust Kim? I don't think so, but you have to make an attempt to.
But could I say, listen, I think this is maybe the right step in the right direction now, but at the same time, can I be hesitant in the sense that there's been no plans, there's no process of verification, who's going to moderate it. None of that was detailed. It felt like a meeting with zero substance, in my opinion.
And that was what concerned me. Jeff, being with you for the last year, you have taught me to be so much more of a positive person, and that's why I look at this differently than I would have a year ago. So I do think this is a step in the right direction, but I think that it would be disingenuous of myself to say there aren't some hesitations with this. I mean, we did get 3 Americans back maybe about 3 weeks ago, but the one that came back before that was half dead and died, I think, as soon as he landed. I mean, obviously the civil rights, the human rights violations, the fact that there's nothing that indicates we can trust this man. I really do have some reservations. This is a step in the right direction, but anybody that's watching this, I don't think that you can fault me for saying I'm a little hesitant. I'm wondering what's your plan. It was also a 5-hour meeting, and I get your hesitation, but something in this case is better than nothing in my eyes.
Yeah, and let's remain optimistic. You've instilled that in me as well. And we have to talk about the other news out of Singapore right now. That's right, Dennis Rodman, the former NBA Hall of Famer, arrived there for the historic summit. He got very emotional in a CNN interview when he talked about his last trip to North Korea. Watch.
I got so many death threats. I was sitting there protecting everything. I knew things were going to change. I knew it. I was the only one. I never had no one to hear me. Everyone came at me, and I'm still standing. And today is a great day for everybody.
Okay, this is ridiculous. If he'd like an Oscar, we could send him one. But the fact is, this man wasn't good enough to pass the 5th episode of The Apprentice before Trump fired him for being erratic, which is exactly what he was doing right there.
Oh, I think he looked stable right there.
Yeah, he was erratic, and he also was dealing with some substance abuse issues. This is a man who has had 3 domestic violence arrests. So it's interesting to me that we're depending on someone like this to solve world peace.
You know what? I agree with you, but you know what was the most alarming to me? When, if you listen to the whole interview, he called Kim Jong-un his very good friend. How could anybody in the right state of mind call someone with his, again, human rights record, murdering people, starving people, how can somebody in their right mind call a person like that their very good friend? Doesn't that show their character, their moral character?
I get what you're saying, but there's no solution. If you just want to look at that, there's no solution moving forward. We might as well wait till his heir takes over, because there's no solution if you don't want to make progress.
But why does he have to call him his very good friend? Why couldn't he just say, listen, I want to make progress?
Because you're not going to make friends with somebody if you're like, listen, I think you're an arrogant, pompous jerk. You're not going to be like, okay, cool, buddy, let's come over and let's have dinner. You have to sweeten it up with what he wants. And who's to say? We always talk about the show. Who's to say? Listen, trust me, I got my skepticism with Dennis Rodman myself. But who's to say what the person who's going to unite our nations looks like? Does he have to have a suit and tie? Is he supposed to have this job? Is he supposed to be one color? I get what you're saying, but who's to say what that person's supposed to look like?
I don't know. I'm going to have to tap into something my dad would say is stop trying to apply logic to illogical things, because this defies all logic.
All right, but maybe Kim Jong-Un will listen to him. Maybe Jeff's right. D-Bell Nation, chime in. We want to hear from you. You are our 5th host. And in Washington, D.C., 100,000 people turned out to cheer on their hometown hockey team, the Capitals, and they are all celebrating the team's Stanley Cup win. And as you can see, it's a sea of red as fans packed the National Mall to catch a glimpse of the champions. And the Capitals also took out this ad in a Las Vegas newspaper congratulating the Golden Knights. That's the team they beat to win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I thought that was classy. Our executive producer, Rena, thought it might have been like a backhanded slap. But I think, you know, the Knights had an incredible season. Me as a gambling man knows that the Knights were 500-1 to go to the Stanley Cup and win it this year. I mean, it's literally on a Buster Douglas, Mike Tyson level of odds of what they did. And so I think that you know, the Capitals were really classy in acknowledging that.
I love that Al prefaced himself as me as a gambling man.
I know, a country song should have started playing when I said that.
I could see how someone might take it the other way. It feels like the Cavs or Warriors.
Yeah, where there's no love
lost. But this is a team's very first season. So I think they really were genuine in congratulating them, saying, no one's ever done this. Have you ever seen an expansion team? They never even make it to the playoffs.
That's a gracious winner. I'm with you. And ready or not, Kevin Spacey is coming back to the big screen. Now, the disgraced actor has already been scrubbed from other projects because of sexual misconduct allegations against him, but he will star in Billionaire Boys Club. That opens next month. It was shot more than 2 years ago, long before his scandal even broke. Let's take a look.
I'm from Wall Street. Do you think people really get rich playing by the rules? This deal is worth $250 million, and your lives will never be the same.
So are people ready to see Kevin Spacey again? Do you think even having him in the trailer is going to cost moviegoers to going and seeing the film?
Perhaps. I could see how, because he's already been scrubbed from plenty of movies. But when I saw this trailer, I didn't recognize a lot of the other young stars coming up. And I don't, you know, as much as people aren't going to agree with this, I don't feel they should just scrub the whole movie, because this is those kids' big shot to make it in Hollywood. I was in this awesome movie, Billionaire Boys Club, and you know, people are going to notice them and recognize them. And to have them scrubbed from the movie is sad in my eyes, but I could see how people would want that.
Or people not see it at all.
Right. I think that the stink of Kevin Spacey might have that effect whether it goes to the theater or not. I think this is a Hail Mary. It's a finished product. They want to go out and try to recoup some of the expenses, and this is just their opportunity to do that.
What if somebody you respected told you it was a great movie? Would you go, Sam?
Like if Stu Magoo movie reviews?
Yes, if he was like, if he was like, I know you find Kevin detestable, but would you go? If you listen to Stu, would you go on his word?
I would like to go to Stu Magoo movie review right now. Stu Magoo. Now we really do hold your opinion very high around here when it comes to movies and other things.
And we're not putting you on the spot.
We're not trying to put you on the spot. But would you go see this movie, Stu? What do you think? Have you heard good things about it?
Honestly, haven't heard anything about it. This is pretty. It's pretty low key. I wouldn't go see it in theaters. No.
Wow. Okay. Well, Stu's mic is not working, but he said he would not go see it.
But then, are we not going to watch any Harvey Weinstein? I was watching one of my favorite movies. One of my favorite Tarantino movies is Jackie Brown. I was watching. The first thing up is his Weinstein Company. Are we not going to watch that?
But
like, where do we draw the line?
The difference is you don't have the face there. I think the reason why it's the Harvey Weinstein thing is so different is because he's not the face of any franchise. It was the name. And
he's the face of every franchise, though. Everything you've ever watched, he's probably had his hands in.
But you're not going to a movie theater and seeing his face.
I guess, but I mean,
I think is a little.
But you're at least conscious of it. Like when you see that name, you know you only.
How many times do you say on this show that we, as consumers, can pay with our pocket? that we can support something or not support something, and that will make or break.
But I'm saying, are we playing both sides of it?
I don't know. We got to go. We're going to continue this conversation during the break. Ebony Steele, what's coming up next on Daily Blast Live?
Well, a young woman caught between two moms, the one who gave birth and the one who kidnapped her. You won't believe what the daughter thinks of the woman who took her away. Plus, something that's free at work could be making you gain weight. We'll reveal what that is. And you're our viewer and our fifth host. Should criminal histories be included on job applications? One country in Missouri is shaking things up. Your comments are all next.
Criminal history on job applications and 3 full screens. So there's
Okay.
no sides for this one.
Okay, and we'll go Al, Erica,
I actually
Jeff.
brought that up last week
Yeah,
about
you did.
taking the okay, so Weinstein does it. So Erica, this I'm glad we got a little time to expand a little bit. What I was saying is, you is one of the most conscious people I know. You know that if you were watching a movie, even if it was a movie that came out 10 years ago, Ocean's 11 or whatever, you know that one of the most ridiculous serial rapists in our time made that movie and maybe assaulted somebody on that staff. We now know that. And just like we look at Kevin Spacey, who we can see, and we know that he committed atrocities. So it's like, I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't know, because all the things that we grew up with that are part of who we are seem tainted now.
I don't have the answer to where the line is. I just think that the reason why we have such a visceral reaction is because when you can see someone who's an offender, like a Cosby or a Spacey, it's very different than most people watch movies and don't know the basis or where they came from at all. So we're kind of blind in that. If you are going to be a very conscious consumer, which I try to be, then I would say, yeah, no, I wouldn't go out of my way to watch a Harvey Weinstein movie. But the fact is, most movies that I watch, unless I know who's actually in the movie, I'm really not aware.
Let me ask you this. You are our 90s R&B jam queen. What do you do when an R. Kelly song comes on?
The R. Kelly thing,
And I'm not trying to box you, and I really I'm curious.
No, because I was also in an R. Kelly video, so music video with R. Kelly.
Music video. One more time.
Yeah, no, I've been saying to you, because I, like, randomly, you just start singing the songs, or, like, weddings, like, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
But I have been making a conscious effort, if I hear an R. Kelly song, not to listen to it, not to sing it.
Good.
I've been consciously trying to mute
You're
R.
consciously
Kelly.
uncoupling with R. Kelly.
I have consciously uncoupled. Sorry, Robert. That's how it's got to be.
Thanks, guys.
All right, 15 seconds.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Question: do you have a criminal past? Because it's the question on job applications that's making some seekers cringe. But that has changed in St. Louis County. An executive order was signed to remove questions that ask about an applicant's criminal history. So should questions about criminal history be banned from job applications? Take it away, Sam. Shocker.
Thank you so much, Ebony. Yeah, we got a lot of comments on this one, so let's get started. Let's get right to Phil on Facebook. He writes, mistakes are made, but it depends on the crime. Rehabilitation isn't an overnight thing.
I agree with Phil right off the bat. I think that there's some jobs where it is important. If you're applying to work at a daycare and you've been accused of child molestation, I'd like to be aware of that. But we talked about this last week, and I brought this up on the show last week with Alice Marie Johnson. It's like, yes, she's out, and she's a grandmother, so she won't be probably trying to get back in the workforce. But people that are, what do we have set up? Because as soon as they see that question, you check yes, you're off you're out, and now you're ostracized from society. You can't vote, you can't own firearms. So it's a slippery slope, but I think some people should be allowed to skip that question.
Well, Crystal on Facebook writes, yes, who wants to hire a thief at a bank or a child molester at a daycare? So everyone's pretty much on the same page with that one. I agree. I think that I really do believe that people should have criminal background checks. And it's not that I don't think that rehabilitation isn't possible, but for instance, here, how often do things come up missing where they've just blatantly been stolen?
Sam's
I
candle.
would like to know, like, if there's people who are prone to stealing things, which clearly there are. So that's something that we should all be privy to.
All right. Watching on YouTube, Della Street writes, if you don't give people a criminal background a second chance, then how are they supposed to better their lives? Everyone makes mistakes. They shouldn't have to pay for them forever. This is a tough one because you know what? I think everyone deserves a second chance, like Erica always says, even a third chance. Everyone makes mistakes. You're not going to go through life without making a mistake. But at the same time, as the employer, if you hire someone who's a grand theft auto thief and you hire him at your auto body shop and your car turns up missing, who's at fault there? You as the employer or the guy who stole it?
The guy who stole it.
I know, but like if you already had the information, why would you hire him in the first place?
Maybe you're trying to give them a second shot.
See, but that's what I'm saying. That's the conundrum. It's like, do you give somebody a second shot, but then leave yourself open to, you know, criminal pursuit?
It's tricky.
It's a tough one. It really is. Thank you so much for your comments. We love when you guys write in. We are live. Kelly Schuberth with news at the moment.
Yeah, a milestone birthday makes history today as President George H.W. Bush just became the first living president to turn 94. Bush is celebrating today at his home in Maine. His spokesman says it will be a low-key day, which to Bush is perfection. He won't be in this exclusive club for long, though, as President Jimmy Carter will turn 94 in October. Happy birthday, HW.
Thank you so much, Kelly. It's unbelievable.
94.
Like, I know.
94.
Yeah.
And just like those are 90. I mean, he was the head of the CIA. He was the president for 4 years. That's a lot of living he's done. So that's really impressive. And doesn't he jump out of an airplane every year for his birthday?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think he skydives every year.
I think at least for his 90th.
Yeah, I don't know if he still does. Okay.
Aw, all right. Well, happy birthday. And it may not officially be summer until next week, but you wouldn't know it by your high power bills. Guest co-host Stephanie Jones has some tips to cut costs coming in hot.
So guys, as the temperature rises, so do your utility bills. And we could all do with a little bit of extra cash in our wallet. So first up, you need to be smart with your AC. If you're spending time in the evening in the living room, make sure you close all the doors to save the AC from cooling empty places in the house. Next, try to avoid cooking with the oven during the hot summer months. It'll heat up your house and cause the AC to work harder. Get out the barbecue. And finally, laundry. Wash clothes in cold water and hang them to dry. If you have to use the dryer, do back-to-back loads so it doesn't waste energy, heating up every single time you use it. So save your cash for summer and use it for fun and not bills. Back to you guys.
Thank you. Those are good tips.
They are good tips. I was just
Especially the back-to-back laundry, I would never think.
I'm just more like, she suggested more barbecue. I'm like, yeah, let's do that. Jeff, the barbecue king over here.
Buddy.
What's up, man?
All right, Ebony Steele, what's coming up next on DBL?
I'll tell you, Sam, I hate to break it to you, but where you work could be making you fat. Yeah, the free stuff that could cost you big time later. And up next, a fan favorite, our own Al Jackson sounds off on the craziest viral videos that he can find.
Okay, I'm gonna lead this time. I got the okay from Jason. My name's Lex. I'm here with the digital team giving you the top trending stories during the break. And right now, trending on foodandwine.com are the top summer destinations in America according to Google. So Google just came out with this new feature, and it's a travel feature. One thing they'll let you do is create a list. So if you're thinking of going on a vacation somewhere specific, they can kind of make a bucket list for you where you can be accountable and come back to it. It'll give you information about when the best time to go to this place is, flights, how cheap to stay there would be. And then they also have another feature called Trending Places. And they separate this into Seek, Tap, or Seize. Seek stands for parks, Tap stands for historical monuments, and Seize, that's the beaches. That's where I want to go. And they give you the top trending places that people are visiting in all of those categories. So for beaches, since we don't have time to go through all of them, I'll just share my favorite. People say Belmar Beach, Montrose Beach, Lake Welch Beach, and Coney Island. I've been to Coney Island before. I'm from the East Coast, so let me know where you guys have been, if you've been to any of the top trending summer vacation spots here, or if you're going to use this new software that Google has to help you out.
Hey DBL, so I have a story that you probably did not expect to hear on a Tuesday. Domino's is going to pave your roads. That's right, they just started a new campaign called Paving for Pizza, and they found out that actually road conditions impact the delivery time and quality of your pizza. Let me just walk you through their tutorial that you can find on pavingforpizza.com. They show what actually happens to your pizza through delivery and found that this was actually really impacting the quality of Domino's once it was delivered to your house. So you can actually go to Paving for Pizza, hit nominate your town if you feel like your area is covered with potholes, and Domino's will actually send a crew to come and pave the roads so that you have a cleaner delivery for your pizza. Really interesting, DBL Nation. If you think that your town needs this, go to pavingforpizza.com. And what do you like on your pizza? Obviously, I'm starving because it's lunchtime. All right, right in.
3, 2.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Happy Tuesday, everybody. It's time now for Al Sounds Off, when comedian Al Jackson goes off on the wildest stories he can find. Yeah, buddy. All right, we got a very special birthday later, but we'll save it for the end.
All right.
Our first video is of an experimental new device called the Wamba.
A what?
A Wamba, Al? You never heard of this?
I thought those cleaned your house. No?
That's a Woomba.
Oh, okay.
Wait, this is a Woomba. That's a Wamba. There you go. A musical instrument that allows babies to make music in the womb. Enjoy.
All right.
It's a lullaby created by baby before it's even born. The kicks and movements the baby makes in utero trigger sensors which create the sounds. Its inventors say it's the world's first prenatal musical instrument.
First of all, that's no awe. Did you see that thing that you're putting on your stomach? It's your baby. It's not a planetarium. Let the kid get some sleep. What are you trying to get your kid ready to go to after-hour raves in Moscow? Like, chill out. And first of all, what if the kid doesn't like classical music? And if it has ears, it probably doesn't. Let's go to the next one.
Our next viral video from an embarrassed Illinois teen who says, "My dad actually got the leaf blower out to dry our dishes. Someone help."
Yeah, Jeff, this kid sucks at kids' parties. Keep him away from the cake. I just read an article saying in 2018 more women are staying single, and I wonder why.
This guy.
And finally, I like this because his kids can look at this and be like, I guess it's okay to bring C's in the house. All right, let's go to the last one.
Our final viral video comes from the Ohio Department of Transportation, who says, pro tip, if your vehicle isn't running properly, pull over. Don't be like this backwards thinker.
Now, Jeff, I like this because I can do this too, but it's usually after 4 cups of coffee and a chalupa.
Why did chalupa?
It helps you it gets things going down there. I do like this because I feel like this guy's such a good driver. He's missing his calling. You know he's driving backwards like, what should I do with my life? Be a stunt driver, brother. You got it. That's Al Sounds Off.
Hey, everybody, and that's comedian Al Jackson.
And more importantly, don't forget, it's our cameraman Rob's birthday. Rob, we love you, brother.
Happy birthday, Rob. Here's one from me. Come on. Coming up on Daily Blast Live, Deborah Messing didn't always call the shots. Find out what humiliating things she had to do early in her career, and the power of love. How an old car, a promise, and a husband's devotion make for a tear-jerking date night.
Here's your next surprise from Daily Blast Live. Comedy icon Carol Burnett sits down with Tori Schulman.
Luck has been a big deal for you.
I do feel fortunate.
Don't miss a moment this week on Daily Blast Live.
Promotional consideration is brought to you.
All right, guys, 2 minutes to back.
Okay, can these guys hear me now? Am I live now? Hello, guys. Are we staying here next to them? Yeah. Hello. Welcome, and I'm Stephanie, and I'm super excited to be here. And I'm reading some of the comments out that we've had today on the big information that St. Louis is moving. The questions about criminal history on job applications and what you all think. Is it fair? I personally think everyone, once they've paid their time, if they have done that, then they should be allowed a second chance, right? So let's see what they say. So April Meadows on Facebook says, I believe there should be a criminal background check, but it shouldn't be so serious that it stops you from getting a job, and everybody makes mistakes. I agree. Lynn John on Facebook says, leave it off. If they are trying to find employment, avoid crimes, drugs, and being homeless, give them a chance to be productive. I think this is true because imagine if you do a petty crime, you're young, you make mistakes, maybe you fell into a group or a peer group that pressurized you to do something. You don't know what everyone's circumstances, right? So they all should be given the chance to change their lives and show what they're about and do something good and positive. Because the problem with all of this stuff is, if you're getting penalised for something you've done many, many years ago in the past and you can't get a job, you might fall into a life of crime to try and fund yourself so you don't become homeless, or, you know, you have to support your family. So, you know, I think it's really, really important. So guys, I want to know what you think. Let's have a little look. Catherine Henry on Facebook says they need a second chance, but Rhythm also need to prove themselves. An employer needs to make their own decisions to give them that opportunity. I believe there is a compromise option needed here. Even a lot of employers are open to hiring people with a record, but they still need to know what the crime and rehabilitation has been. I agree. Keep sending your comments in. You've all been great.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Today's Heart Threads is all about the distances we will go for true love. Bob drove over 1,000 miles just to take his wife on a date. Grab your tissues and take a look.
This man drove a beat-up car 1,200 miles so he could take his wife on a date. Kathy was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 1978, not long after she had married Bob Hugsby. Bob cared for Kathy as her condition worsened. 6 years ago, Bob could no longer care for Kathy at home and reluctantly found a 24-hour care facility for her. Kathy's condition kept her confined to the facility.
The only way she can go anywhere now is they drive her electric wheelchair up into a cargo van, strap her down like cargo, and take her to the doctor's office. That's all she gets.
Kathy drove a cabriolet when she got married, and that memory gave Bob an idea. Kathy could be lowered into a convertible and go for a ride. So Bob bought an '85 cabriolet in Texas and drove it back to Minnesota. Now Bob and Kathy have a way to get out and enjoy a day together.
We were just thinking about that. How many years ago has it been since we had a quote-unquote date? We don't do dates. I mean, no.
It's another lifetime. I love you.
I love you too.
You guys.
That's a rough one.
I know.
Wow.
Man, that was super cute.
So special.
That was tough. And just like you look, and like right after they got married, she got sick, but they still stayed together, and he cared for her right up until the end. So not that it's the end, but like right up until she had to go into a facility. So what a beautiful story.
And the moments of just going back into that cabriolet, right? It almost makes you feel young again, and you could see it right when they kissed. Like time hasn't even gone on.
Yeah.
If you're leaving us right now, you can still watch us live on Facebook and YouTube. Here's what's coming up next on Daily Blast Live.
Torn between two mothers, a daughter says she still loves the woman who snatched her at birth.
I still do call her mom.
And this has DBL Nation fired up. Fake it till you make it. Emmy winner Deborah Messing reveals what she was urged to do early in her career. And something in the workplace could be derailing your waistline. What to avoid when Daily Blast Live comes back.
Welcome back to the online section with me, Steph, and of course the panel. Have any of you got any pets that you have to leave with someone else when you're away? I know you guys have got babies, so that's a lot more important than a pet, but anyone got a pet that they have to leave?
I had to leave my dog with my ex-wife because I can't.
Layla, right?
Layla, and the thing is, it's because of Denver, Colorado, they have goofy pit bull laws that will not allow, even though she's a service animal and does not bark or bite, she's not allowed here.
Really?
Yeah, that's the only reason I don't have her, so I had to leave her in Los Angeles. I mean, she is my heart. So yeah, like it was really, really tough, really tough.
Oof, I've never had to leave an animal. I can't imagine. We transported all of our animals via an RV, but none of them have pit in them, so that's why they're allowed to live here. But that must have been really hard, Al. I'm sorry.
What about now in doggy daycare or cat care?
No.
Do you have any pet?
Well,
no one
she's
has.
a doggy daycare. I take, well, when we go away, we drop our dog off at this pet palace place.
Pet
Palace Place.
Tell them about how they were talking to Spike about it.
They love him. Like, they recognize him, and they tell us all the things that he does, including trying to pee in front of everybody else's door. Because he wants to mark his territory all the way down. And, like, they talk about him like he is, like, the king of the castle. That's why we keep going there.
Yeah. You got somebody that loves your pets as much as
yes.
you do.
Do you have a pet in LA?
I have a dog in London, but my mum has to look after him when I'm not there.
At least it's your mom.
My mum is my hero, so if she's watching this later, which I'm sure she will, thank you, you're the best.
I want to just repeat what
I
you
love
said.
her accent. Guys, if you have any pets and you have to leave them, who would you leave your pet with? And would you ever be able to leave your pet? Literally, it's the hardest thing ever. I love my dog. Anyway, I'll see you guys later.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Let's get started. This next story really boils my blood. We can't stop talking about it. Camilla Mobley is a 19-year-old woman stuck in the middle of an unthinkable tragedy. She was snatched from the hospital just hours after she was born and raised to believe that her kidnapper was her mother for 18 years. Now that woman, Gloria Williams, is in jail, and Camilla is trying to come to terms with her life. Here's what she said to Good Morning America about her relationship with her kidnapper.
What about Gloria Williams?
We actually talked today.
You talked to her today?
Oh, yeah.
How often do you talk to her?
I say about every 3 days, every 2-3 days. I probably get called, like, sometimes once a week, probably twice a week. Sometimes more than that, depends.
Last time we talked, you said you still considered her your mother.
I still do call her mom.
Wow. There's so many layers here. Just to provide a little additional context, she does also talk to her biological mom. However, they are strained. Her biological mom just released a statement in so many words saying that at this moment, they're not talking, and she hopes to rebuild the relationship with her. But from the mother's standpoint, she said, quote unquote, how do I compete? I don't want to have to compete with my daughter's kidnapper. But this is all the daughter knows.
I don't blame the daughter in this at all, because that's what she knows. She's put in an unremarkably difficult situation. This boils my blood too, because for the woman who's in jail, she deserves to be there even more so than that. I don't know how. It's just a terrible, terrible, terrible situation. She's a terrible, terrible person for doing that. She's getting what she deserves. But I guess as the real mother, you have to only love, that was your child. That still is your child. I understand the feelings that she has because that's what she was raised for 18 years. But this is just an incredibly difficult situation.
Real mother is also saying that she wished that, because she feels like her baby's been stolen from her twice. Right. Right after giving birth, and then now the woman is still allowed contact with her biological daughter. So she wants the law to get involved and not allow contact between the two of them. Now, I immediately thought of the daughter, and I said, well, that's not fair. Then I put myself in the mother's shoes. Right after giving birth to my Sophie, if someone stole her, I would be out for blood. Yeah. Yes. I would not want to hear that woman's name. I would want to murder that person that took my baby and then took away 18 years of our life together.
And no one would fault you for that, Sam. I mean, the idea that this has happened at all is just, like you said, it's just a remarkably difficult situation. But by having the law, I mean, this girl is now a woman. She can make her own decisions. And if this woman, her biological mother, intervened only to stop down and say, you can no longer have contact, I don't think that's going to help the situation. I think what you do in situations like this is you have to figure out what the bigger picture is, because I know you can't go back 19 years. You can't redo anything, but you have to figure out how to move forward. And I would say try to move forward without intervening between her and the mother.
Right. It made me think about if your teenage daughter is dating a guy that you hate, if you say you can't see him, she's just going to sneak out and see him. I mean, this is the definition of Stockholm Syndrome, and I hope she can maybe put this relationship together as she gets older.
I hope so, too. I really do. Okay, please, DBL Nation, chime in. I would love to hear your thoughts on this one. And Daily Show host Trevor Noah is speaking out, sharing the real reason why Jon Stewart left the hit show after 16 years. Take a look.
I'm leaving. And I said, why, though? And he said, I'm leaving because I'm tired. And he said, I'm tired of being angry. And he said, I'm angry all the time. I don't find any of this funny. I do not know how to make it funny right now. And I don't think the host of this show, I don't think the show deserves a host who does not feel that it is funny.
Wow, Al, I mean, as a comedian, Jon Stewart, based on the political climate, he could not find anything funny about it.
Right, and I mean, he hosted a political show, and it happened right as we were coming up to where we are now. And I think the difference between our show and a show like The Daily Show is we do heartthreads, and we do see humanity, and we see the good in things. And every day, he was immersed in horrible things that he had to make funny, things that were like really human rights violations, and he had to make that funny. And I think it wears you down. Jon Stewart is a man, a human being like anybody else, and I think he just wore down, and he really wanted to do honor and do right by that show and pass it on before he just took all his joy away.
I remember sometime around February, March, and obviously we know a lot of things happen in the news cycle, and I looked at my husband and I said, I think I'm bringing this home with me, because I felt like I was internalizing a lot of things that we were talking about. And I think that it's just really important to be honest about that when you're talking about death and destruction and so many terrible things that are happening in the world, it's easy to shape your view that way, so you just have to be healthy about it.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's nice that we do have segments like Heartthreads and some lighter stories and positive stories, because it's important to have that balance.
And the other thing that we're forgetting, we have each other.
Yep.
And we can all kind of bounce it. I mean, it's really just Jon Stewart, so he's put in a tough position.
And we have this positive guy, always glass half full with you.
We're only a year in.
All right, do you ever wonder why you can't lose weight? Well, blame your job. A new study finds that free food around the office can add up to 1,300 extra calories a week to our diet. For proof of that, look what happened earlier today in our studio. There's Jeff. We had donuts this morning. Jeff beelined over to it, grabbed a number of donuts. There they are. Oh, you're not going to eat it, Jeff?
Listen, it's hard. It's hard when you get snacks at work.
Yeah, I have 3 donuts at my desk as we speak.
Yeah, like we don't have craft service here. If you guys don't know what craft service is, it's basically just food for all the staff and everybody. And I'm glad we don't, because if we did, if there's a cheese plate out there,
smash
it. About
when I was a writer on Shaq Show in the kitchen, all it was Twizzlers, it was gummy bears, it was pretzels with the peanut butter inside of them. I'm like, that's enough with the pretzel. There was just Cokes in there. I gained a lot of weight, because you're sitting in an office writing jokes all day. You need stuff to keep you awake, so you're drinking more coffee than you should. And there's nothing but food trucks outside that have nothing but delicious tacos inside of them.
And when I was working at Judge Judy, I worked as a PA at Judge Judy, and I worked my way up. But as a PA, I was out of college. I had no money. So that was my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And when you're eating Cheetos for breakfast and bagels for lunch and then Cheetos again for dinner, you're going to put on weight. I put on 15 pounds.
Girl, we had 25 deep dish pizzas delivered to our radio station one morning. And that wasn't even
sounds like
abnormal. 25 deep dish pizzas. And of course, yeah, you take it home, you eat it for 3 days. I gained lots of weight.
All right, I'm just going to say this. I don't want to start an argument with Chicago people. Deep dish pizza is not pizza. It's a pie.
And our viewers know. Have some willpower. 62%. Yikes.
I have no willpower.
0.
I can't have it.
All right, Deborah Messing got real about what it took to make it in Hollywood. The Will and Grace star revealed that on her first sitcom, she was forced by a network exec to wear fake boobs. The comments were made at Variety's Actors on Actors series. So this got us talking. What have we been asked to do?
I was just wondering, Jeff, were you asked to do anything that made you feel uncomfortable during your video, your music video?
I don't know. Do we have a... You tell me, Erica.
You winked!
So the answer is no, absolutely not. I was never put in that situation, so I was I got out unscathed.
He volunteered for that
served to make the rest of us feel uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable.
Sam's over here laughing. Sam, you got something for us?
A sweet ride deserves TLC all the time.
Wait for it.
What are we driving?
Hip
Not
clothes?
waxing, washing, and shining. Hi, I'm Sam Shocker.
Oh, I'm so glad yours is after mine.
Okay.
That was
All right,
awesome.
what about you, Al?
Me? Well, let's talk about Erica first.
Okay.
Erica, what do you got?
Relax.
All right.
Oh, this is me. This is me in Jamaica. I used to host a kids show.
Started the twist. I think she was a bit more
All
calm.
right.
Are you holding an alligator?
Yes.
No. Hold him strong. Okay. Let's hold him like this.
It snapped at me.
Back in. Alex, why don't you jump in there, homie?
What are you abandoning your hosting duties?
Hey, listen, they should have electrical taped its mouth shut.
No.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
That's not ethical.
Erica,
No,
does Erica have a commercial?
No, Erica does not.
Erica, you-
Erica has a commercial.
Hey, what's up, Chicago? It's Erica, your morning drive diva, coming to you from South Chicago Nissan. And for this baby, I had to get inside. We are talking red leather seats. I feel like a vixen.
She purred.
Erica, can we get that purr real quick?
Give a purr, Erica.
Give us one quick purr. Red leather seats.
That was a reluctant purr.
That's
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
that's so good. All right, do you know what summer's hottest accessory is? Guest co-host, fashion and beauty guru Stephanie Jones knows the fashion trend is coming in hot.
Okay guys, so according to Vogue, the headscarf is this summer's must-have accessory. We've seen models strutting down the runway wearing them at Gucci and Valentino's resort shows. We all know style icon Jackie O was known for her famous headscarves, and now you too can channel your inner icon. But you might be wondering how to properly wear one of these bad boys. Well, we're going to show you how, so check it out.
2018's hottest summer trend is wearing headscarves just like Jackie O used to wear.
I look fabulous.
Oh, I'm always fashionable when I'm writing my scripts.
I can't believe you're making me be Jackie O.
It's Al Fashion Jackson here. I know everybody's like, well, what are you wearing? It's Jackie O season. Head scarves are in style, so I'm sorry, Jackie O. Now it's Jackie A.
No photos.
Guys, what do you think? I'm ready for my driver to come collect me now.
Yeah.
I think it's fab.
That was almost embarrassing as my music video.
This is an embarrassing block of television for all of us.
Yeah.
To that gator, I'm sorry I dropped it.
I know.
He looked right at me. He had blood in his eyes.
I don't know about that. Well, we do have some panda twins that are going to make you smile, and a teacher is giving us all the feels. Evie, you have more trending stories coming in hot.
I do, Sammy. Thank you. It's a panda baby boom in China today, and we have your first look. The Panda Breeding Center in China has two new sets of twins to show off. A male and female pair that were born on June 5th. Looky there. And a pair of girls born on May 23rd. They're all being cared for day and night to make sure they thrive, and look how adorable they are. I can't get enough. Justin Theroux has just adopted this adorable pit bull named Kuma. This sweet pup was rescued after Hurricane Harvey and beat the odds to survive. Now she's traveling the world, living the Hollywood life she deserves. Geesh, I'm jealous. Congrats. And this retired special ed teacher in New Jersey left $1 million to help the type of students she devoted her life to serving. Years ago, she told her boss that she would donate $1 million when she died, and he thought she was kidding. Now her generosity is proving to be very real and so inspiring. And coming up on Daily Blast Live, it was a record-breaking year for Americans. We'll tell you why. And are Megyn Kelly's days as the host of her own Today Show hour numbered? The shakeup will tell you. It could be coming up. And a children's book that not only helps kids get over their bad days, but proceeds to go on saving their lives. It is our DBL Spotlight.
I've been having some comments coming in about the headscarf look. You guys are not feeling it at all. Amy Smith Feaster on Facebook says, no, that headscarf is not fashionable. My grandmother wore one. Mine does too, all the time. Frank Deb Garak on Facebook says, I think it looks very old. I'm sorry guys, you know, I'm trying. If it's good enough for Valentino, I'm trying to bring it to you guys. And then Alan Burt on YouTube says, we could use those headscarves in Chicago. Okay, so in the Windy City, they're wanting it. So let me know what you think. I'd love to hear all your fashion comments. But we're not stopping getting any comments about what we've been talking about this morning in regards to criminal offences being used on job applications. What do you think of Ban the Box? We're getting so many comments. So Tillen Antrican on Facebook. I hope I pronounced that correctly for you. They said that I think the question should only be for a felony. Then, if they mark yes, check the reason. I think that's a really good point. Some people might have a felon charge that is not that bad. I'm in total agreement there. My husband is a past felon, but he can't get a real job because of that. He has multiple driving charges, which makes him an HBVO, habitual motor vehicle offender. So if that makes a felon for just that, he had a charge for theft, but he was set up. So it sounds as though there's a lot going on here, hon, for you. But he's changed his life around, and she's proud of the man that he has become. So, she's saying who will take care of him when she's not around. So this is a big problem. So if you've made some past mistakes, should you continue to be penalised for these later on in your life when you're trying to reform, make a change? And we're getting so many comments. Hugh Bean on YouTube says, I can't imagine that anyone would have a job or a life if our past mattered. It's so true. I mean, we've all done things. We're all human beings. No one's perfect. People do silly things or say things they don't mean. And, you know, it's hard. And we need to give everyone a chance. And don't judge other people as well on past mistakes. Give them a chance to prove themselves. And I think a lot of people will be surprised at what they could learn from everyone else. Guys, keep your comments coming in. I'd love to hear from you. And I'm so disappointed you hated the headscarf. You know, I tried. Let's see what else we've got going on. Oh, we're going back to the show, so I'll see you later.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Today, we are shining the DBL spotlight on perspective. It's a new book that teaches kids how to get through bad days. Colorado mom Lindsay Beaudreau wants to give kids the tools they need to get through tough, rough days in her children's book, What a Day. Lindsay was inspired by a tough day she had 9 years ago when her brother's heart stopped at the local swimming pool. Fortunately, a defibrillator saved his life. In her book, What a Day, a little boy gets sadder and sadder when things just don't go his way until his mom helps give him perspective. Mother and author Lindsay Beaudreau joins us now. What a Day follows a young boy as he has a tough day. What can parents do to help their kids see the bright side in difficult situations?
Well, I think there's a lot of things. You know, I wrote this book for my son. I wanted him to know that he would have hard days, days that didn't go his way. You know, in this particular book, I want him to be able to lean on his faith and his trust and his love in God and know that he's not alone.
Wow, and you have such a giving heart, and we understand that your proceeds are going toward a cause that's actually close to your heart. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, my brother had a cardiac arrest when he was 19, so that was about 9 years ago, and he survived. He's actually he's a doctor now, he's a surgeon. So in making this book, I wanted to be able to give back, and this foundation, Play with Heart, gives a lot back to the community. So this is just, you know, a small way for me to give back as well.
Right. And what are your brother's thoughts on you writing this book?
He was surprised, as was everyone else. I mean, I wasn't planning on writing a book. It started because I was up late with my daughter, my third baby, who doesn't sleep much. And I sort of just woke up one morning, well, after not sleeping much, and I was, you know, so excited to tell everyone, like, I think I wrote a book.
Have your kids, have they read the book, and what have they had to say?
Yeah, my son, he can basically memorize it, so he loves it, and it's been really great. I get out to a couple schools, I do some readings at some local schools and churches, and so the kids are really happy. One of the best times, actually, the day that the book released, I got to go to my son's school and read the book to him, so that was super fun.
Lindsay, thank you so much for joining us. You can get more information at whatadaybooks.com.
Thank you so much.
We are live. Raquel Villanueva has news at this moment. Raquel.
That's right, Ebony. Megyn Kelly might be getting a new time slot. A new report out says NBC is considering reshuffling its morning shows by pushing Megyn Kelly back an hour and moving Kathy Lee and Hoda Kotb up an hour. Now, Kelly has had a hard time attracting viewers since debuting her Hour of Today in September.
Wow. Raquel, has NBC responded?
They actually declined to comment, but an insider said that her ratings were up by 5%.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's never a good thing.
Nope.
No.
We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Well,
we'll have to wait another hour.
Right. Well, CoverGirl has been around for almost 20 years, but this next story is a first for the brand. Fashion and beauty host Stephanie Jones has this exciting news coming in hot.
So this is a big attention notification for you makeup fans. CoverGirl is getting its own store. This mega beauty brand is opening its first standalone store in Times Square. Where else? In addition to selling its popular and affordable CoverGirl products, the store will feature interactive activities, full-service makeup, and other on-the-go services. And if you look closely at the signage, the billboard features Mae Musk, a CoverGirl who is rocking it at 70 years old. Yes. So far, there's no opening date, but we will keep you posted.
Love it. Thank you so much, Stephanie. And coming up next on Daily Blast Live, our puppy pitchman, Roman, shows us another pooch who could sure use a forever home. Do you have room for this furry friend? Aw, don't go away.
Here's your next surprise from Daily Blast Live. Comedy icon Carol Burnett sits down with Tori Schulman.
Luck has been a big deal for you.
I do feel fortunate.
Don't miss a moment this week on Daily Blast Live.
Hey guys.
Nice shoes.
I know.
Nice shoes, Brooke.
I'm going to take
Nice.
these off because I'm looking real tall today. But hey,
So we do the Bachelor Blast every week for Digital. We recap last night's episode of The Bachelorette. So we're talking all things week 3.
yes, last night's episode was crazy. A lot of people across the U.S. were lighting up Twitter because Trump's, what would you call it?
It was a special report
His special
on the summit.
summit interrupted the beginning of The Bachelorette. Everyone was waiting to watch, and obviously that takes precedence over The Bachelorette. But so that kind of pushed things back. We actually didn't even see it live, the end of it, because our recordings ended. Anyway,
Here's what happened.
Go ahead.
So it started off with some former Bachelorette contestants coming on the show. The guys did a group date at the spa.
The spa. Not only did Colton, was he on the group date, he's the one from Colorado, but he actually has a history with Tia, and guess who they brought on the spa date?
Of course, Tia.
Tia. They had to make sure they were matched up on the spa date. It got a little awkward.
It did, but they talked everything out. It went well, and Colton ended up getting the group date rose.
He did. So moving on to the one-on-one date, Chris, they went to Capitol Records, and they met, what was his name?
Richard
Marx. He's huge. Not our generation. I tried to sing the song.
But they wrote a song with him.
They did.
It was really sweet.
Yeah, it was really, really nice, actually. Chris opened up about his past with his father. It got pretty deep there, but I think Beck actually appreciated that a lot, liked him a lot more after the date.
All right, we got to talk about the most dramatic thing that happened on the episode, and this one goes to David, who is also from Denver.
He is.
He wore the chicken suit on the first episode, and Brooke, the producers really made this one dramatic.
Yeah, I thought Jordan and him, they've been feuding this whole season. I thought Jordan actually beat him up. That's what they set it up to look like. And it ended up, he actually fell out of his bunk bed. It was kind of scary, actually. There was blood everywhere. We could go on and on. Maybe we can continue the rest of this in the next break.
But the big takeaway, there was no rose ceremony. That's going to happen on next week's episode. Watch the recap on YouTube.
10 seconds.
Welcome back to DBL. In 2 years, our DBL puppy pitchman Roman has found homes for more than 1,000 dogs, and he's spending part of the summer spreading the word about the importance of adopting rescues. Here's Roman.
I am here at
Dogchella.
Dogchella.
And where is Dogchella?
Oregon.
Roman and his dog Rue hit the road for Dogchella.
I am bringing my 2 friends in.
Dogchella is Project Freedom Ride's big fundraiser in Beaverton, Oregon. The event raised around $900 that will help Roman and his mom Jen find forever homes for Roman's rescues.
I had one question. How do you guys think the event is going?
I think we're having a lot of fun. Yeah, good fun.
And our little Roman has got a legion of fans. Check this out.
This is my friend Roman. I've been wanting to meet him for the longest time. What do you like best about rescuing dogs?
Handing the dog to their own.
Oh, I bet that would be exciting.
It's actually my part of Project Freedom Ride.
Oh, that's kind of your job.
Yeah, it's my job.
Roman and his mom say they are so humbled and honored by everyone who supports their cause. Way to go, Roman!
We are live. Brett Forrest with news at this moment.
Thanks, Sam. The U.S. had a record-breaking year for charitable donations in 2017, according to a new report out today from Giving USA. As you see here, it marks the first time overall donations cross the $400 billion mark. Individual contributions account for 70% of the total, while corporations made up 5%. And religion was the largest charitable cause, bringing in about a third of total giving. That was followed by education and then human services. I'm just glad to see we're all still donating in these divisive times.
Amen. And hey, you have a charity event coming up, Brett.
That I do, yeah. I'm fighting in a charity boxing match this Thursday. I've been training for 4 months. It's to fight cancer. All money I'm fundraising goes to the Children's Hospital of Colorado and their pediatric cancer wing.
Yay, Brett!
That's great, and it's called Haymakers for Hope, and we will be there on Thursday.
Absolutely. Brett Forrest, well done. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
We are going to be doing bobbing for apples. You have 1 minute. We're going to do it at the same time. Oh no, my face is way too pretty.
We're going to do a dramatic reading now from Night Watch.
Night shift.
Right.
Bleeding in the left lower quadrant.
Tell CAT scan we're coming as soon as he's tuned.
I'm losing his pulse. Okay, so we're just doing. So you hear it, everyone? Don't open it. Don't, for God's sake, save the children.
New sunscreen, it's Sea Star Sparkle. It's Sproof 50, so you're actually getting some protection from the sun.
SPF, by the way.
Okay, I say Sproof.
So today we're playing Big Mouth. Jeff and Tori each have a minute to guess trending headlines they can give to the other player.
You're freaking me out. Bill, you lost on your own question.
Yeah, I can't even remember my own dialogue.
Bill came in second.
Tori's gonna win. Similar.
Oh, it's big, guys.
You have it wrapped in your hand.
That is a pretty.
It looks just like that.
It does. It does look like that. This is how it's done right here.
Hey everybody, it's Samantha Harris. Welcome to Dancing with the Hosts. That's right.
Puppies!
Why don't you go to the moon?
We want it. We watch me on Blind Date on YouTube. Oh, that's there. Excuse me, I'm gonna go find that. We found the clip that you.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. We have a lot of comments in regard to the headscarf, okay? So we got Amy Smith Feaster on Facebook. No, that headscarf is not fashionable. My grandmother wore one. I think it is.
Everything comes back in style.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it looked like my big mama's, like what she would wear.
It's cyclical.
Nice.
Frank Deb Jarek on Facebook. I think it looks very old. Alan Burt on YouTube. We could use those headscarves in Chicago. Also, why don't you guys go train with Brett?
I'm down, little two-man crew.
I'm down with two-man crew.
You got your nickname ready to go?
Twinkle Toe Schroeder.
All right. I'm Knuckle Sandwich Jackson.
Knuckle Sandwich Jackson.
That's a great name.
Speaking of toes.
Yeah, Twinkle Toes is wearing some sweet socks today. Check these out.
Lawson!
That's my son.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Sam got me those for my birthday.
That's
they just
really
came
cool.
in.
That is so cute.
Those are super cute. Thank you, Sam.
I want some Lawson socks.
We're live on YouTube and Facebook. Keep the conversation going. Happy Tuesday.
Hey guys, it's Laz
Alex. I'm here with the digital team giving you the top trending stories during the breaks. Right now, trending on bustle.com, they're telling us that the Old Navy flip-flop sale is back. Yay! Cal, excited for the Old Navy flip-flop sale?
Yeah, Old Navy flip-flop sale.
$1 for solids, $2 for prints. I know. My mom goes crazy for it.
Okay, but wait, can we talk to Al about this? Al, can you come in? Are you the one that said people shouldn't wear flip-flops?
90 seconds.
That people shouldn't wear sandals? Did I dream that?
No, I don't think dudes should wear sandals. I think you look insane.
What about if you're going to like the beach?
I'm sorry, what about Birkenstocks?
Birkenstocks, yes.
Yeah, what about Birkenstocks?
What if something happens and you have to run or something?
Tevas, yes. Tevas.
No.
Chacos.
I don't want to see your toes ever.
Tevas.
Unless we're at the pool.
Tevas, what have you?
Really? Yeah. No, you're just doubling down on the fact that you mispronounced it.
Okay, but DBL Nation, is it okay for men to wear sandals? That's the real question.
All right, 1 minute.
Is it okay?
Let's take a seat, guys.
Because I don't want to see a dude's feet at any circumstance.
Anyway,
really nice feet.
The sale is starting on June 23rd, so let us know what you're picking up. $1 for solids, $2 for everything else. See you guys.
Today on Daily Blast Live, Donald Trump goes one-on-one with Kim Jong-Un. Just a historic photo op or the start of a new relationship? A young woman abducted at birth still loves her kidnapper and calls her mom. And DBL Nation is outraged. Plus, something at work could be making you fat. What to watch for? And a surefire shortcut to dry those dishes. What was this dad thinking? Daily Blast Live starts right now.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Tuesday, June 12th. Let's get right into it because right now the world is reacting to the historic summit between President Donald Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-Un. The two world leaders met in Singapore for nearly 5 hours. Now, the summit ended with a signed statement. Trump agreed to provide security guarantees to North Korea, and Kim committed to complete denuclearization. Afterwards, ABC's George Stephanopoulos asked the president, how can he trust the North Korean leader? Here's what the president said.
I can only tell you from my experience, and I met him, I've spoken with him, and I've met him, and this was, as you know, started very early, and it's been very intense. I think that he really wants to do a great job for North Korea. I think he wants to denuke. It's very important. Without that, there's nothing to discuss.
Well, I'm happy that Kim Jong-un has committed to denuclearizing their peninsula there. But do you believe it? There's no protocols put in place, Ebony.
Right. It seems like a very a big meeting with very loose conversation. It didn't feel tight to me. And just in the situation of, or when we're talking about Donald Trump, and I heard actually a thought leader say this over the weekend, had never thought about it. To me, the way that he moves or his actions are as Donald Trump, the businessman. It's not as Donald Trump, the president. A lot of his decisions, conversations, he's a little bit above the law, makes his own rules, doesn't abide by the regular rules. We see that even at the administration that he's working with right now. So sometimes to me, he's always trying to sell himself as Donald Trump and may not give 100% of the facts of the conversation. And I don't even know if he should be giving that. This is the first time this happened. We should be glad that it's a first, but it just makes me nervous as the way way that it was carried out.
Are we being too skeptical?
I think so. I think we are. You know, this is the first time this American president has ever talked to North Korea in the history of America. It was a 5-hour meeting. Everyone's cutting it down to, well, he should have said this or did that. We did it. The meeting happened. Regardless of what happened in the meeting or what we take from that, the first step is getting that meeting. That handshake right there, people thought would never, ever happen.
I don't want him shaking Kim Jong-un's hand, knowing what he's done to his people, starving them, murdering them. I don't want them to shake hands. Is that me being pessimistic? Yes.
Well, yes, but here's the other side to that. If you feel that way, nothing will be done, ever. Because he's not. You can't change his past. You can't change his stripes. Do I want to not trust him? Yes, but it's something in this instance is better than nothing.
Jeff, my only question, and I do understand, and like I said, working with you for the last year, you've changed me as a person. I do want to look at things in a more positive light, and that's coming from a stand-up comic. But I do think we have a right to question his policy. What's your policy going forward with Puerto Rico?
Right.
What was your policy in angering everybody at the G7, of angering our neighbors to the north in Canada, slapping tariffs on our neighbors to the south in Mexico with NAFTA, with China? It seems like we're aligning ourselves with dictators. Duterte in the Philippines, who's actively murdering people he's accusing of drugs. We don't have enough time in 2 shows to talk about the atrocities that Putin has done with killing journalists that have gone against him. It seems like we're aligning ourselves with dictators and really distancing ourselves from our longtime allies. And I feel like I have a right to be scared about that. Is it a first for him to shake his hand? Yes, but a first for what? Because what direction are we going right now?
Maybe it goes to the old saying, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. I don't know, but I think this is a step in the right direction.
Yeah. And please, D-Mail Nation, we want you to chime in. So I'd love to see your thoughts on this one. And we are live. Brett Forrest has news at the moment.
Hey guys, I have an update to a story we've been following. The dancing FBI agent who accidentally shot someone at a bar in Denver turned himself in today after Denver police issued an arrest warrant. Here's video of the incident. The agent drops his gun while dancing and accidentally shoots someone in the leg when picking it up. Now that person is okay. He faces second-degree assault charges, but Denver's district attorney has not yet formally charged him. The agent could still also face disciplinary action from the FBI. No word yet on what the agency plans to do.
I sure hope so.
Yeah. Right. He's just turning himself in today, and this just, I can't get this. I guarantee you that if this man was of a different hue or brown skin, he would not be turning himself in. He would have gotten arrested, and the FBI would have already pressed charges against him. This is crazy to me.
Yeah. And I agree, unfortunately. Yeah. Ready or not, Kevin Spacey is coming back to the big screen. The disgraced actor has already been scrubbed from other projects because of sexual misconduct allegations against him. But he will star in Billionaire Boys Club that opens next month. It was shot more than 2 years ago, long before his scandal broke. Let's take a look.
I'm from Wall Street. Do you think people really get rich playing by the rules?
This deal is worth $250 million.
And your lives will never be the same.
Okay. Are we ready to see Kevin Spacey again?
I think so. I do. I think people forget about everything. I mean, you think about this, we watch the NFL and we know what's going on with that, not just with the kneeling, but with them hiding concussions for us for years, not paying for the medical bills. People watch that. People don't care when it comes to entertainment. I mean, when you go to any stadium, Jeff, and they're playing We Will Rock You, that guy is a convicted child molester and has been in jail for like 20 years. And look, we cannot have it both ways. If you want to start talking about entertainment and everything that's around, there's a little bit of taint on everything we touch. I'm just saying. So,
this is so fresh, though. This is like, and I know they shot this movie 2 years ago, but we just discussed Kevin Spacey's allegations, what, a matter of weeks ago when you break it down.
But he's I'm sorry.
No, go for it.
He's one person, Sam, and you got to think about it. A lot of people, or the person that put this movie together, there are people that they hired. The movie was already completed, correct? When all of these allegations came out. You got people that may be making their cameo appearance or their first time on camera, and this may go down as Kevin Spacey's last movie, but at the same time, I think that it's so many people surrounded. On one hand, we say, oh, we hate if people lose their jobs if they're affected by this, so I think the movie should go on. Will I see it? I don't know, but I'm a little nosy. I might.
All right. That makes me think twice. All right, buying quality makeup doesn't have to cost a fortune. Fashion and beauty host Stephanie Jones is spending some time with us. She's got the story coming in hot.
Hey guys, that's right. A trending article on nerdwallet.com has the best tips to save on your favorite products. First is sample everything. So if you aren't sure that you can't commit to a full-size product, reach out to the department store or brand and ask them for a free sample. Next is know when to splurge and when to skimp. So spend a little more on things like foundation and other skin products. Keep it cheap when it comes to things like eyeliner. You can get away with that. And then finally, make sure you do your research. Read reviews from Amazon and your favorite beauty bloggers. Their reviews will be honest and you can see if the product will be right or not for you. DBL Nation, let us know how you save money on your cosmetics.
Ooh, I can't wait to read those comments. Please send in.
And I love samples.
Me too, girl.
Yes.
That's why I love Sephora. All the
they
samples.
get the
They
best.
give
I got
you
them
the
lined
best.
up on my counter, girl.
Me too. Me too. I got them in a big bin. All right, a quick shout out to our nation's capital in Washington, D.C. 100,000 people turned out to cheer on their hometown hockey team, the Capitals, and they are celebrating the team's Stanley Cup win. And as you can see, wow, the championship parade took over the streets of Washington as fans lined the streets to catch a glimpse of the team. The Capitals also took out this ad in a Las Vegas newspaper congratulating the Golden Knights. That's the team they beat to win the Stanley Cup. That was a classy move.
I thought so. I mean, you know, you look at this and like the Golden Knights, first of all, I didn't even know, and I follow sports, I thought they were like a minor league hockey team for the first half of the year. My buddies were texting me like, hey, this team's really good. We should throw a wager down on them. And I was like, why are we betting on minor league hockey? I didn't even know they were a real team. I looked up their numbers. They were 501 to even get to the Stanley Cup. 501 is like Tyson, Buster Douglas kind of territory. So they did an amazing thing, and I think the Capitals, in a classy way, recognized that.
A gracious winner.
Yeah, absolutely. This is their first franchise expansion team, as they call it, and you don't even get a winning record, let alone make the playoffs or the finals. So right. I think this was a classy move. Had it been maybe the Cavs, Golden State. Maybe that might have been.
Let me just say this. I know we have to go, but everybody, this showed that the city of Las Vegas can support a major sports team. They're getting the Raiders next year. I'm predicting this right now, Stu. You guys are going to get your Seattle team back, and they're going to put another team, because they have to balance it, another basketball team in Vegas.
And that's coming from a gambling man.
That's right.
Erica Cobb, what's coming up on Daily Blast Live?
A young woman caught between two moms, the one who gave birth to her and the one who kidnapped her. You won't believe what the daughter thinks of the woman who took her. Plus, something that's free at work could be making you gain weight. We'll reveal what it is. And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. We'll share We've all heard about ride sharing, but what about dog sharing? Would you want to share your pooch? Your comments next.
So the Vegas Knights were such underdogs that basically when you say 500 to 1, that means that if you play $1, if you bet $1, you would win 500. It was unheard of. Usually with an expansion team, the way it works is each team has a certain roster of players, and you're allowed to protect. So let's say, just to make the math easy, let's say you have 10 players on your team. The league will say you're allowed to protect 8 of them. That means you pick 2 players that you're fine if they walk. So that's what expansion teams, that's what they're able to pick from. So all the players that teams say, hey, we're not worried about protecting you. If you want to leave, you can leave. That's what made up this Vegas team. They're really cast-offs. And one thing I thought was really cool was they showed the pregame speech that the Vegas Knights coach was giving to its players in the locker room. And it said, the reason you guys are all in this locker room is because no team wanted you. And that's what makes us a family. And I thought that was really cool. That fired me up. But I mean, it definitely not only set the tone for, I think, what's going to be a really successful franchise in Las Vegas with the Golden Knights, but also it's showing Vegas is a crazy sports town. Everybody that's going there is going to gamble in some way. And when you're not gambling, you want to blow off some steam. What's the best way to do it? Taking a ball game. I think we're going to see a baseball team and a basketball team there very, very, very soon.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Well, there's ride share, house share, and now there's dog share. In the latest trend in apps like Dog Time Community and Share a Dog, it allows owners to match up with their other fur parents wanting only part-time responsibilities of owning a dog. So do you think dog sharing is a good idea? Take it away, Sam Shocker.
Thank you so much, Erica. Let's get right to your comments. Our first DBL take is from Jesse in Baltimore.
So to me, the idea of sharing a dog makes so much sense, especially people like me. I live in a really small apartment, and it would be home all the time, and I'd feel horrible. So as long as I get to name the dog, then I'm happy, because that's like the most fun part for me, is naming the dog.
I agree with Jesse. And our own Stu Magoo movie review and I were having the same discussion. We were like, you know, we have the Dumb Friends League come here and they have dogs up for adoption. And the only reason I haven't done it is because we're here 12 hours a day and we don't feel like it's fair to the dog. But I would be really cool with somebody who's like, hey, I work nights or something, so I can take the dog on a walk so it's not sitting in the house for 12 hours. So I think this can be a good thing.
I have a son you could use.
All right, Phil on Facebook writes, I feel bad for the dog only because it seems like rehoming. There is a difference between leaving the animal with the family and another family. I can respect your feelings. I know when I had a black lab, I felt guilty, just like Phil, the last viewer, that I wasn't at home a lot. And I even hear some of my single friends that may have a child, oh, I wish I had somebody for the child to play with all the time. So I think that interaction with another dog or another pet would be healthy for them. I think it's a great thing.
All right, the next DBL take is from Jessica in Connecticut.
I think being able to have the shared responsibility of taking care of a dog with other people would be great. Not everybody wants the full responsibility. So I think it would be convenient to be able to have a dog when you want a dog and then be able to give it back to somebody else.
I agree with you, Jessica. I don't know about dog sharing. I'm more like dog part-timing. Because if my son could play with a puppy for a little bit and then you take the puppy home, I'm all for it.
That's cute. I think this is a great idea. There's a lot of people out there that want to be able to have a dog. They're very responsible. They're actually being selfless, like you stated, by not wanting to commit full-time. So just as long as you have two responsible parties and it works, I think it's a win-win situation.
All right.
We are live. Kelly Schubert with news at the moment.
A milestone birthday makes history today as President George H.W. Bush just became the first living president to turn 94. Bush is celebrating today at his home in Maine. His spokesman says it will be a low-key day, which to Bush is perfection. He won't be in this exclusive club for long, though, as President Jimmy Carter will turn 94 in October. Happy birthday, H.W.
Thank you so much, Kelly. And you know, on his 90th, he jumped out of a plane.
I love it.
Unbelievable.
If you think of all the things he's done in his life and then has to have these recent health challenges, like he's really, I mean, he's doing well. I think this is awesome.
And losing his wife.
Oh, yeah. He's gone through just a ton.
It's been a tough year. It may not officially be summer until next week, but you wouldn't know it by your high power bills. Guest co-host Stephanie Jones has some tips to cut costs coming in hot.
So as the temperature rises, so do your utility bills. And with a little extra work, you could see a lot extra cash in your wallet. So we need to be smart and turn off your AC a little bit more. If you're spending the time in the evening in the living room, then close doors and then your AC will cool empty places in your house a lot quicker. Try to avoid cooking with the oven on during the hot summer months. Get out the barbecue, get outdoors. It will heat up your house if you're using the oven, and it will make your AC work even more. Finally, laundry. Wash clothes in the cold water and then hang them out to dry. And if you have to use your dryer, do back-to-back loads so it doesn't waste energy heating up each and every time. So save your cash for summer fun and not bills. Back to you guys.
I don't know about the hanging up of the clothes. It depends. You better live in a nice neighborhood. People will be wearing your clothes like coming to America. Yeah, no, I can't have it.
I do have a question. With the AC, do you guys keep it on fan or do you keep it on auto?
I keep the windows open.
Dude, there's a moth problem here in Denver.
I like the moths.
No, what?
Sammy.
Sam.
They're going to come.
I had like 10 in my house.
You're not going to have to worry about washing your clothes because they're going to all be eaten up by the moths.
I catch them and put them outside.
Oh, well, come over. You'll have fun.
Erica Cobb, what's coming up on DBL?
Where you work could be making you fat. The free stuff that could cost you big time later. And up next, a fan favorite. Al Jackson sounds off on the craziest viral videos he can find.
Hey guys.
Hi guys. Kelly and Steph here. She's here with the digital team. We wanted to talk about this story. There's a new story out today that a study shows that couples who eat healthy together stay together. So it makes sense, right? I wonder if we should bring Chris in for this. Oh, he's not even over here. But I know at home, if I'm trying to eat healthy and he's not eating healthy, it's gonna throw it off the rails, and I'm not gonna be happy with him.
There's nothing worse than when you're having to eat a salad, you're having to watch your weight, and then you go home and your boyfriend's like having
Eating
a pizza
pizza
or a burger, ordering a takeout. Although I'm the culprit of that. I'm always like, I want a Chinese. Can we have some
Come on,
fried
honey.
rice?
Oh, that's
yeah,
funny.
that's me.
Yeah, but I mean, the study makes sense because you can understand if you go home and the other person, if you're dieting and the other person isn't dieting, it's got to be hard to go home and see that other person doing that, and that's going to put a strain on the relationship no matter what.
I just think it's more frustrating because it makes you want it, and then if I fall into a bad habit because of someone else, and my boyfriend's like, no, we're going to have chips or whatever, he never would do that anyway, but if he said something like that, then I'm going to eat it, and then I'm going to be grumpy.
And then you're going to be mad at him because he brought it in the house.
And I'll be like, oh, why did you make me do that?
Yep.
Basically.
So, what do you guys think, DBL Nation? Do you think you agree with the study?
Are you the healthy ones or are you the unhealthy ones? I'm the culprit. I'm like, I want a Chinese. I want deep fried.
Even if you're unhealthy together, what we talked about earlier is even if you're unhealthy together, as long as you're on the same page.
Yeah, so if your partner is trying to lose weight or they're trying to be healthy and look after themselves, support them and like try to encourage it. And if you really need a snack, then eat it when you're not at home.
When they're not around, because that's not nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. Let us know what you think, DBL Nation. We'll see you in a bit.
Thanks, Steph. Thank you.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Happy Tuesday, everybody. It's time now for Al Sounds Off when comedian Al Jackson goes off on the wildest stories he can find. Yeah, buddy. All right, we got a very special birthday later, but we'll save it for the end. All right. Our first video is of an experimental new device called the Wamba. A what? A Wamba, Al. You never heard of this?
I thought those cleaned your house. No?
That's a Woomba.
Oh, okay.
Wait, this is a Woomba. That's a Wamba. There you go. A musical instrument that allows babies to make music in the womb. Enjoy.
All right.
It's a lullaby created by baby before it's even born. The kicks and movements the baby makes in utero trigger sensors which create the sounds. Its inventors say it's the world's first prenatal musical instrument.
First of all, that's no awe. Did you see that thing that you're putting on your stomach? It's your baby. It's not a planetarium. Let the kid get some sleep. What are you trying to get your kid ready to go to after-hour raves in Moscow? Chill out. And first of all, what if the kid doesn't like classical music? And if it has ears, it probably doesn't. Let's go to the next one.
Our next viral video from an embarrassed Illinois teen who says, my dad actually got the leaf blower out to dry our dishes. Someone help.
Yeah, Jeff, this kid sucks at kids' parties. Keep him away from the cake. I just read an article saying in 2018 more women are staying single, and I wonder why.
This guy.
And finally, I like this because his kids can look at this and be like, I guess it's okay to bring C's in the house. All right, let's go to the last one.
Our final viral video comes from the Ohio Department of Transportation, who says, pro tip, if your vehicle isn't running properly, pull over. Don't be like this backwards thinker.
Now, Jeff, I like this because I can do this too, but it's usually after 4 cups of coffee and a chalupa.
Why did chalupa?
It helps you it gets things going down there. I do like this because I feel like this guy's such a good driver. He's missing his calling. You know he's driving backwards like, what should I do with my life? Be a stunt driver, brother. You got it. That's Al Sounds Off.
Hey, everybody, and that's comedian Al Jackson.
And more importantly, don't forget, it's our cameraman Rob's birthday. Rob, we love you, brother.
Happy birthday, Rob. Here's one from me. Coming up on Daily Blast Live, Deborah Messing didn't always call the shots. Find out what humiliating things she had to do early in her career and the power of love. How an old car, a promise, and a husband's devotion make for a tear-jerking date night.
Here's your next surprise from Daily Blast Live. Comedy icon Carol Burnett sits down with Tori Schulman.
Luck has been a big deal for you.
I do feel fortunate.
Don't miss a moment this week on Daily Blast Live.
Hey guys, it's Lex. I'm here with the digital team giving you the top trending stories during the break. Now, we just talked about, during our fifth host, co-parenting a dog, and now we're going to give you some more dog news. Bustle.com right now, it's trending. How long you should leave a dog at home. Sorry, it's cut off. How long you can leave your dog at home alone. So basically, they tell you there's really not a strict rule. All dogs are different, obviously, just like people. But if you do leave them home alone too long, it can cause anxiety for pets, and it could also do a lot of like health concerns too. You know, if humans wait too long to go to the bathroom, we also have those issues. So typically, they say with younger puppies, it's 1 hour per month. So a 1-month-old puppy has to go every hour. Now for adult dogs, it could be between 7 and 8 hours. How long do you guys leave your dog at home? Do you co-parent? Let us know if you co-parent an animal. I feel like I co-parent an animal because I have one dog that I watch all the time, but it works out for me because it works into my schedule. I just got a new puppy. I leave him out every 4 hours. Yeah, we're talking about more puppy news, Jeff. Yep.
You can't lose with puppy stories.
No, you can't. Kelly's got more.
That would be really hard when you are working. I know that Lex actually during lunchtime goes and checks on her dog, but if you're working a shift where you can't leave, I can imagine it's hard. They're like children, honestly. All right, well, I have a different story that Lex is still going to be interested in because she covered this a couple weeks ago. So after a huge fan campaign, Weezer was actually convinced to cover the song Africa by Toto. Well, now it's actually reached huge on the charts. People are listening to it constantly, and it's actually Weezer's first hit in over a decade. I didn't even realize this. Their last big hit was in 2009, so it's breaching on the edge of a decade, but still pretty incredible that a fan account actually started this campaign, and now they're actually in the top of the charts. So if you want to hear the song, head over to Spotify or any listening device and give us a little chat about what you think about the song. You liked it.
Love it. I love it so much.
Let us know.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Today's Heart Threads is all about the distances we will go for true love. Bob drove over 1,000 miles just to take his wife on a date. Grab your tissues and take a look.
This man drove a beat-up car 1,200 miles so he could take his wife on a date. Kathy was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 1978, not long after she had married Bob Hugsby. Bob cared for Kathy as her condition worsened. 6 years ago, Bob could no longer care for Kathy at home and reluctantly found a 24-hour care facility for her. Kathy's condition kept her confined to the facility.
The only way she can go anywhere now is they drive her electric wheelchair up into a cargo van, strap her down like cargo, and take her to the doctor's office. That's all she gets.
Kathy drove a cabriolet when she got married, and that memory gave Bob an idea. Kathy could be lowered into a convertible and go for a ride. So Bob bought an '85 cabriolet in Texas and drove it back to Minnesota. Now Bob and Kathy have a way to get out and enjoy a day together.
We were just thinking about that. How many years ago has it been since we had a quote-unquote date? We don't do dates. I mean, that's what, it's another
lifetime. I love you.
I love you too.
Is that not amazing?
Woo!
I know.
That one, I mean, the things that you would do for love, and I can just imagine, you know, when you have those, I guess, physical restrictions, and you're still able to talk, and you still have it up here. You don't want to do the things that you used to do.
Right. I mean, that was her first car. They have a lot of memories in a cabriolet, and then here they are again, like time has never passed. That kiss they had at the end.
Right. I love you. I love you too.
The nostalgia of that first car, though, and then just getting out with the wind blowing in your hair. Like she said, she was always transported in a van.
Right.
You know, you still get
like
to see
cargo,
outside.
He said.
Right.
Yeah, but then giving the wind through your hair in your old car.
With their honey.
With your sweetie.
With your honey. It's like date day anytime they go in that car.
I love those.
You can still watch us live on Facebook and YouTube. Here's what's coming up next on DBL.
Torn between two mothers. A daughter says she still loves the woman who snatched her at birth.
I still do call her mom.
And this has DBL Nation fired up. Fake it till you make it. Emmy winner Deborah Messing reveals what she was urged to do early in her career. And something in the workplace could be derailing your waistline. What to avoid when Daily Blast Live comes back.
We are going to be doing bobbing for apples. You have 1 minute. We're going to do it at the same time. Oh no, my face is way too pretty.
We're going to do a dramatic reading now from Night Watch.
Night shift.
Right.
Bleeding in the left lower quadrant.
Tell Cat Scan we're coming as soon as he's tuned.
I'm losing his pulse. Okay, so we're just doing. So you hear everyone? Don't open it. Don't, for God's sake, save the children.
New sunscreen. It's Sea Star Sparkle. It's Sproof 50, so you're actually getting some protection from the sun.
SPF, by the way.
Okay, I say Sproof.
So today we're playing Big Mouth. Jeff and Tori each have a minute to guess trending headlines they can give to the other player.
You're freaking me out. Bill, you lost on your own question.
Yeah, I can't even remember my own dialogue.
Bill came in second.
Tori's gonna win. Similar.
Oh, it's big, guys.
You have wrapped in your hand.
That is a pretty.
It looks just
big.
like that.
It does. It does look like. This is how it's done right here.
Hey everybody, it's Samantha Harris. Welcome to Dancing with the Hosts. That's right.
Puppies!
So why don't you go to the moon?
We watch me on Blind Date on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's excuse me, I'm gonna go find that.
We found the clip that you so embarrassing.
I'd make my jazz. So every time you watch
Start the date with Jordan Braun's jazz hands.
Everybody thought I don't know comics. Really ticks me off.
Favorite thing ever is emoji. Headline, today's headline with emojis. Jeff and I try to figure it out. Okay, Nestle paid for the rights to sell Starbucks. Sell Starbucks!
No, I want nothing to do with this, so I'm leaving.
We want to make sure you guys are informed because what is information? Power!
Oh.
And knowledge!
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Let's get started. This next story we cannot stop talking about. Camilla Mobley is a 19-year-old woman stuck in the middle of an unthinkable tragedy. She was snatched from the hospital just hours after she was born and raised to believe that her kidnapper was her mother for 18 years. Now that woman, Gloria Williams, is in jail and Camilla is trying to come to terms with her life. Here's what she said to Good Morning America about her relationship with her kidnapper.
What about Gloria Williams?
We actually talked today.
You talked to her today?
Oh, yeah.
How often do you talk to her?
I say about every 3 days, every 2-3 days. I probably get called like sometimes once a week, probably twice a week. Sometimes more than that, depends.
Last time we talked, you said you still considered her your mother.
I still do call her mom.
Oh, that poor girl. What an impossible situation to be in because she's learned to love, or she loves this woman that she thought was her mother.
Right.
Then she learns that she was kidnapped, and her biological mother, just to provide a little additional context, is in her life, but they're not on speaking terms. Apparently, there's a rift there.
Right.
And the biological mother is having a hard time even dealing with the fact that her biological daughter is speaking to the woman that kidnapped her baby.
Right. I am so glad that they were able to, or she was able to find her daughter after all of these years. But I wonder, is it up to Kamaya? Because
Kamaya, that's right. Thank you for correcting me.
Is 19, and you know she's legally an adult. You know, and I think in some cases a lot of people are still looking at her as like a child, like she needs to go and be with her biological mother. Do you guys think it should be her choice, or she should just leave it alone? I don't know what to do because you can't force her heart to feel a certain way.
I think Kamaya is going to have some issues, you know, and I don't envy her position at all. And none of this is her fault at all. I look at the mother who stole the child. What a despicable human being. And I hope she's in jail for a long, long time, because I'm going to just stop talking about her right now because she's a disgrace. And then the biological mother, how do you have a child and then get it taken from you and not know what, and always have hope that one day you're going to run into this child and always hope that your child's alive. And in 18, this is like a lifetime
I can't even imagine.
movie. And the emotions that the biological mother is going through, like, there's just a lot of strong feelings on every side of this story.
Well, I mean, you look at how this started. This started with a crime. This started with a kidnapping, and over the course of years, I mean, this is the definition of Stockholm Syndrome, where you basically fall in love with your kidnapper. This is exactly what happened.
That's a little bit different.
And she has continued to manipulate her from behind bars. You know that when they talk every day, they're like, remember who your real mom is. That woman doesn't know her doesn't know you like I know you. She's manipulating this young girl. She's had her ear. She's had her heart. She's fed her. Every memory that she has is attached to this woman.
So if that's the case, Al, shouldn't the law get involved? And I'm not saying that's the right thing to do for the daughter, but if she's manipulating her, and again, it was started from a crime, why is this woman allowed to even
Because she's an adult, and you can't stop an adult from speaking to another adult.
Because the daughter isn't an accomplice. She's a
believe me, I don't blame the daughter at all.
Right.
I can't imagine that happening to a mother after giving birth to your daughter. It's disgusting. That woman, like you said, is despicable and a disgrace. All right, we need to switch gears here because this really boils my blood. Daily Show host Trevor Noah is speaking out, sharing the real reason why Jon Stewart left the hit show after 16 years. Let's take a look.
I'm leaving. And I said, why though? And he said, I'm leaving because I'm tired. And he said, I'm tired of being angry. And he said, I'm angry all the time. I don't find any of this funny. I do not know how to make it funny right now. And I don't think the host of this show, I don't think the show deserves a host who does not feel that it is funny.
You're a comedian, Al. I mean, how do you joke about something that you don't find funny?
Well, that's the thing. I think you can find bits and pieces funny, but when you do a show that's almost 100% political satire, that means that you have to immerse yourself in politics, because if you're wrong on facts, even a show like The Daily Show that's allowed to be funny, you have to fact check. And if you say things that aren't true, you can really get yourself in trouble. So he has to be an expert on politics, and right now we're in the most divisive place in politics that we've ever been in our country. And I think some of the despicable things we've seen go down with just in the last couple of years, I don't think we ever thought in our lives we would have to see.
Right.
And as a comic, and even people that are on the panel, I mean, look, we have to do things that are unpleasant story-wise, but we get to do fun heart threads. We get to do silly segments with Jeff and I. So I think the fact that he didn't have anything but to deal with politics and deal with, you know, what's going on the other side, I think it warmed down, and he stepped away before. You know, it just made him, it ruined him forever.
It was the right decision to make.
Right, and I feel like he was really transparent and totally vulnerable and honest about that too. That makes me even like him even more.
And how do you deal with it here on the show when we have to talk about the school shootings? I know I take that stuff home with me. How do you deal with it?
I do too. I do too, and luckily I have a wife who's very supportive in what I do, and we talk about it at home, and we kind of just talk through it. You know what I mean? I'm very genuine and honest when I speak here, so I speak the same way with her, and she kind of just not walks me off the edge, but, you know, use that terminology, but just to calm me down. And then when I see my son, all that's aside.
Yeah,
you know?
It is.
Yeah, that's the medicine right there. Deborah Messing got real about what it took to make it in Hollywood. The Will and Grace star revealed that on her first sitcom, she was forced by a network exec to wear fake boobs. The comments were made at Variety's Actors on Actors series. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, but a lot of you, I'm not excusing it, but we've all had to do some things to get our start.
Oh, I remember. I mean, I don't know if you remember your Valvoline commercial. That was one of my, well, no, before I even get to that, Jeff, I don't know why you're laughing. Do we remember your?
I was hoping you'd skip over me.
I hope we have it queued up. Do we have Jeff's video? His, there we go.
Oh, my God. Looking at you, baby.
You weak.
My buddy sent me that.
All right, Jeff, loving the massage.
Oh, I can't watch.
Soap opera kiss.
Woo. All right.
Wow, that's embarrassing.
It takes that.
What? It is. Jeff looked great.
Listen, we got to do what you have to do. What you have to do.
Embarrassing. Excuse me, Mrs. Valvoline. Run that commercial right now. Let's see. All right. Let's see my favorite commercial of Miss Sam here. There we go.
Mine watches how she closes the door.
Put your back into it. Put your hip into it. There you go.
Hi, I'm Sam Shocker.
I know, I'm ready to buy some oil.
Okay.
There we go, Sam. Looking good, girl.
Okay, Al. You don't think that we didn't dig up and a little something for you?
I've done nothing embarrassing.
All right.
I think he can sense my tension. So
Exactly. What is that you're holding?
That's a baby alligator. I was in Jamaica shooting a show called Awesome Adventures.
Right.
And, see, now, y'all didn't see it tried to reach back and bite me.
I didn't see that part.
Yeah, I wasn't going to get bit. I didn't like the way it was looking at me as soon as he handed it to me.
Dropped it. Job opening.
Hey,
way
listen.
to neglect your host, dude. Ebony, you're giggling over here. We got something on you too, boo.
I don't really know.
I gotta walk
over. This is when I did radio, and they had to bring. Yeah, and I had to learn how to. Don't. It's not cute.
Actually.
No, I'm not. Watch out. Watch how fast I hit the ground. No spinning. That's it. It's over. Who found that? Gee. Shut up, Kelly. Who found that?
You looked good.
That was an epic fail.
You looked good.
I didn't
need to work on your spinning skills.
Well, that's the basic of it. Duh.
All right. I think we're all guilty here, okay?
How embarrassing.
Well, do you ever wonder why you can't lose weight? Blame your job. A new
Yes.
study finds that free food around the office can add up to 1,300 extra calories a week to our diet. For proof of that, look what happened earlier today in our studio. There's Jeff. We had some donuts. Jeff beelined over the donuts. I don't even know how many he took.
Well, they're fresh. You got to get in there when they're fresh. Jeff, I'm on your side.
Well, I saw 3 at your desk, Sam, so I had to get in and get one.
Yeah, Sam, you did have 3 donuts at your desk. You want to care to expound on that?
I did hoard some donuts.
Okay.
How many did you?
I have 3.
Have you eaten any of them yet?
No, because I'm gonna have one, and then I'm gonna bring one home to my husband, and then one home to Sophie's babysitter.
Okay, well, I'm sure they'll love your 9-hour-old donuts.
Oh, sorry I'm sorry for the people that didn't get one.
That's not true. I made sure.
Yeah.
There's still extra donuts in the back.
Yeah, they're at your desk.
Hey, that's not true. Okay, so we have, is free food at work sabotaging your diet? 57%. Yes. Too many birthdays.
That's
right
true.
There with you. I know. A cake. Cupcakes.
But do we want the food to stop with the story? Like, knock it off.
Yeah. Keep it up.
They're going to stop.
Keep it up.
We got that Mediterranean food the other day.
Oh,
I
that
ate
was money.
3 plates,
That was
so I
money.
can't have it at work.
Okay, we got to go to the next
I know, I'm sorry, I got excited.
Okay, do you know what summer's hottest accessory is?
What?
Just co-host fashion and beauty guru Stephanie Jones knows this fashion trend is coming in hot.
I wouldn't say that I look so hot, but it feels hot in this. But according to Vogue, the hair scarf is this summer's must-have accessory. We've seen models strutting down the runway wearing them at Gucci and Valentino's resort shows. Style icon Jackie O was known for her headscarves. Now you too can channel your inner icon. But you might be wondering how properly to wear one, so we're going to show you how. Check this out.
2018's hottest summer trend is wearing headscarves just like Jackie O used to wear.
I look fabulous.
Oh, I'm always fashionable when I'm writing my scripts.
I can't believe you're making me be Jackie O.
It's Al Fashion Jackson here. I know everybody's like, well, what are you wearing? It's Jackie O season. Head scarves are in style, so I'm sorry, Jackie O. Now it's Jackie A.
No photos.
I think we look fabulous. Back to you guys.
You look fabulous. You, on the other hand, dodging photos.
I'd rather replay my video. That was embarrassing.
I am so glad those are back in style. For those bad hair days in the summer, I'm just going to throw one right here. Oh, my gosh, I
And
can't
don't
wait.
you just feel very classy when you put one on?
I think of, what's her name, Angela Bassett in Waiting to Exhale. Remember when they were writing?
Yes,
And they had those scarves on?
yes. I could be in sweats and have a scarf, and I feel like...
And some shades?
Yeah, don't mess.
Y'all rocked it. Good job,
Yeah,
Alan.
way to go, you two.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, panda twins are making you smile, and a teacher is giving us all the feels. Erica, you have more top trending stories.
That's right. It's a panda baby boom in China today, and we have your first look. The Panda Breeding Center has 2 new sets of twins to show off, a male and female pair born on June 5th, and a pair of girls born on May 23rd. And look at how adorable they are. So cute. Justin Theroux has just adopted this adorable pit bull named Kuma. This sweet pup was rescued after Hurricane Harvey. Now she's traveling the world, living the Hollywood life she deserves. Congrats. And this retired special ed teacher in New Jersey left $1 million to help the type of students she devoted her life to serving. Years ago, she told her boss that she would donate $1 million when she died, and he thought she was kidding. Now her generosity is proving to be very real and very inspiring. Coming up on Daily Blast Live, it was a record-breaking year for Americans. We'll tell you why. And are Megyn Kelly's days as the host of her own Today Show numbered? The shakeup that could be coming, and a children's book that not only helps kids get over their bad days, but proceeds go to saving lives. It's our DBL Spotlight.
So it's Raquel here with the Digital Breaks, and I have some news about the Avengers Infinity War that just came out. It is the 4th movie ever to cross the $2 billion mark. So that means it's in the same realm as Avatar, Titanic, and Star Wars, which I still can't believe Avatar made that much money. It was like a grown-up Ferngully, but whatever. And then Infinity War is also now the highest release for Marvel. The original Avengers made $1.5 billion, Age of Ultron was $1.4, and Black Panther is getting up there with $1.3 billion. So have you seen the new Avengers movie? What did you think? Do you think it'll even make more money and beat out Avatar completely? It has to get to $2.8 billion. And I think Brett has a story about bacon over there.
I do. Who doesn't love bacon? Except for Raquel, probably. It's okay. So there's a meal or a meat ordering service called Butcher Box, which is kind of like Blue Apron. You order monthly shipments of meat, and then if you order it from now until the end of June, they'll throw in a free pack of bacon with every shipment. So theoretically, if you order it every month from now until you die, you can get free bacon for the rest of your life. How does that not sound like the most amazing thing ever? Right? So I was just looking at this. I haven't seen the prices yet, but if you're a meat eater and you're buying it at the supermarket all the time anyway, why not do this and get some extra bacon tossed in? Because I personally love bacon a lot, right, Angelica? She's trying to throw some popcorn at me.
Yeah, I love bacon. We also love popcorn, Cheetos.
Yeah, so.
It's snack time.
Okay, well, I guess that's it for me if you're going over to them. They're just snacking over here. I'm talking about bacon. It's lunchtime.
Snack attack.
And they're the ones who made me dress up in that Jackie O thing.
It's in fashion. He looks great.
I had 10 minutes to myself. They come barging in. I'm watching a nice Netflix show, and then they dress me up like Jackie O and take me outside, and that's the end result.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Today, we are shining the DBL spotlight on perspective. It's a new book that teaches kids how to get through bad days. Colorado mom Lindsay Boudreau wants to give kids the tools they need to get through tough, rough days in her children's book, What a Day. Lindsay was inspired by a tough day she had 9 years ago when her brother's heart stopped at the local swimming pool. Fortunately, a defibrillator saved his life. In her book, What a Day, a little boy gets sadder and sadder when things just don't go his way until his mom helps give him perspective. Mother and author Lindsay Boudreau joins us now. What a Day follows a young boy as he has a tough day. What can parents do to help their kids see the bright side in difficult situations?
Well, I think there's a lot of things. You know, I wrote this book for my son. I wanted him to know that he would have hard days, days that didn't go his way. You know, in this particular book, I want him to be able to lean on his faith and his trust and his love in God and know that he's not alone.
Wow, and you have such a giving heart, and we understand that your proceeds are going toward a cause that's actually close to your heart. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, my brother had a cardiac arrest when he was 19, so that was about 9 years ago, and he survived. He's actually he's a doctor now, he's a surgeon. So in making this book, I wanted to be able to give back, and this foundation, Play with Heart, gives a lot back to the community. So this is just, you know, a small way for me to give back as well.
Right. And what are your brother's thoughts on you writing this book?
He was surprised, as was everyone else. I mean, I wasn't planning on writing a book. It started because I was up late with my daughter, my third baby, who doesn't sleep much. And I sort of just woke up one morning, well, after not sleeping much. And I
Sure.
was, you know, so excited to tell everyone, like, I think I wrote a book.
Have your kids, have they read the book, and what have they had to say?
Yeah, my son, he can basically memorize it, so he loves it. And it's been really great. I get out to a couple schools. I do some readings at some local schools and churches, and so the kids are really happy. One of the best times, actually, the day that the book released, I got to go to my son's school and read the book to him. So that was super fun.
Lindsay, thank you so much for joining us. You can get more information at whatadaybooks.com.
Thank you so much.
We are live. Raquel Villanueva has news at this moment.
Well, Megyn Kelly might be getting a new time slot. A new report out says NBC is considering reshuffling its morning shows by pushing Megyn Kelly back an hour and moving Kathy Lee and Hoda Kotb up an hour. Now, Kelly's had a hard time attracting viewers since debuting on her hour of Today in September.
That's amazing. I don't know if I'd be happy if I was
No,
Hoda.
I think that's you think Hoda? I think it's a bad time for Kelly. They're trying to make it work because she's not getting viewers.
Yeah, but you're established in your hour. Now you got to switch because of Megyn Kelly? So people are going to tune in to see you, but then you're going to get Megyn Kelly on there, and she's going to get your views. I don't know.
The report says that Hoda Kotb would be happy because then she could just do the Today Show all the way through instead of taking an hour break and then going again. So it would actually be a good thing for Hoda.
All right, let's get it, Hoda.
Right.
Yeah, and she's a mom. She wants that break and then go home.
Yeah, make them work it around you.
Yeah, get it, girl.
Yes.
And CoverGirl has been around for almost 20 years, but this next story is a first for the brand. Fashion and beauty host Stephanie Jones has the exciting news coming in hot.
So attention, all of you makeup fans, CoverGirl is getting its very own store. This mega beauty brand is opening its first standalone shop in Times Square. Where else would it be? In addition to selling its popular and affordable CoverGirl products, the store will feature interactive activities, full-service makeup, and other on-the-go services. And if you look closely at the signage, the billboard features Mae Musk, a CoverGirl who is rocking it at 70 years old. So far, there's no opening and date, but I will keep you posted.
Wow, awesome. Get it, CoverGirl. And coming up next on Daily Blast Live, our puppy pitchman Roman reaches a milestone. His story is next.
Here's your next surprise from Daily Blast Live. Comedy icon Carol Burnett sits down with Tori Schulman.
Luck has been a big deal for you.
I do feel fortunate.
Don't miss a moment this week on Daily Blast Live.
Hey guys, it's Brooke and Angelica with the DBL Digital team.
And here's your week 3 Bachelorette Blast. But if you're like the rest of America and you tried to watch last night's episode, it looked like this.
BC News Special Report.
But luckily for you, we have a full recap starting now. So this week started off with the group date. It was a spa day. A bunch of her former friends from The Bachelor showed up to enjoy a nice spa day with all the men.
So, my special clients, my girlfriends.
Of
course, there was drama because Tia had a past relationship with current contestant Colton.
You dated. And so.
Oh, you guys serious?
Yeah.
Seeing him again in this situation is just a little nerve-wracking.
But Becca decided she could put all of that behind her, and Colton actually ended up getting the group rose.
I am just looking forward to our story.
Next was the one-on-one date with Chris, and things got romantic at a recording studio where they wrote songs about each other.
Those eyes give me hope. The idea of seeing you at the end of this.
And singer Richard Marx actually helped them through the process. You know the guy who sang, I'll be right here waiting. Chris knows it. The second group date, the guys were totally in their element. They played football to win Becca's heart.
I feel like this is perfect for you. Former pro football player Clay was an all-star player. It got into a tie game, and he ended up hurting his wrist pretty bad. He had to go to the hospital. But his injury was so bad, he decided he did not want to stay because he wanted to go back home and focus on football, so he gave the rose back to Becca.
Safe to say Becca was not happy about Clay's move, and there wasn't even a rose ceremony.
The scandal of the week goes to David, and boy, was this a good one.
There's blood everywhere.
The producers built it up so much, it looked like he had been in a fist fight. But actually, Chicken David fell out of his bunk bed.
Busted nose, busted face.
Thankfully, he is okay, but you have to admit, it's kind of funny that he fell out of his bunk bed.
It was funny, and the producers made it look like his tiff with Jordan is what caused the blood everywhere, but thankfully he's okay and on to the next week. All right, well that's week 3.
We'll see you next week.
DBL. In 2 years, our DBL puppy Pitchman Roman has found homes for more than 1,000 dogs. Wow, Roman. And he's spending part of the summer spreading the word about the importance of adopting rescues. Here's Roman.
I am here at
Dogchella.
Dogchella.
And where is Dogchella?
Oregon.
Roman and his dog Rue hit the road for Dogchella.
I am bringing my 2 friends in.
Dogchella is Project Freedom Ride's big fundraiser in Beaverton, Oregon. The event raised around $900 that will help Roman and his mom Jen find forever homes for Roman's rescues.
I had one question. How do you guys think the event is going?
I think we're having a lot of fun. Yeah, good fun.
And our little Roman has got a legion of fans. Check this out.
This is my friend Roman. I've been wanting to meet him for the longest time. What do you like best about rescuing dogs?
Handing the dog to their own.
Oh, I bet that would be exciting.
It's actually my part of Project Freedom Ride.
Oh, that's kind of your job.
Yeah, it's my job.
Roman and his mom say they are so humbled and honored by everyone who supports their cause. Way to go, Roman!
We are live. Brett Forrest with news at this moment.
Thank you, Sam. The U.S. had a record-breaking year for charitable donations in 2017, according to a new report out today from Giving USA. As you see here, it marks the first time overall donations crossed the $400 billion mark. Individual contributions accounted for 70% of the total, while corporations made up 5%, and religion was the largest charitable cause, bringing in about a third of total giving. That was followed by education and then human services. And I just want to say, it seems like we're pretty divided these days, but it's nice to see that everyone is still giving donations to charities.
That's true. And speaking of charitable actions, what about you, Brett? You have a charity boxing match coming up.
Yep, absolutely right. This Thursday in 2 days, I'm fighting in the ring, charity boxing match through Haymakers for Hope, and all the money I'm fundraising goes to the Children's Hospital of Colorado for their pediatric cancer wing.
Wow, and he's been training for 4 months.
Yes.
It ain't easy,
right,
let me tell you.
You've done it before.
Yes, I did a charity boxing match. I also trained for 4 months in Vegas, and it was... Getting into that ring is scary. Getting punched in the face.
Good luck, Brett.
You guys are
going
to train.
Oh, we're going to
train too.
And go.
And go.
Yes.
Way to go, Brett Forrest. We're so proud of you. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Man Crew is something I've always wanted to do. Actually, this is a guy that I've reached out to just privately. I've always wanted to train boxing, so this would be a good entrance way, but I'm going to keep going after this.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe I will too. We're going to go shoot
I'm
that
going to get nice with the hands.
Always keep your hand up.
But dude, more than that, it's like Sam, the best workout you can get.
Okay, so always keep your hands up. So I trained for 4 months also. So naturally, at least now I had zero training. So before when I would punch, I was down here. Okay, and then I wouldn't immediately think to switch. So over time, first you got to get trained to get punched in the face. Not fun. But over time, you really just remember to like always bring it back. So you left. But I have a long arm, so I could keep my opponent at bay.
And you fought Kendra Perez?
Yeah.
Okay, who actually is married to a UFC fighter?
Yeah, she's married to Cub Swanson.
Oh,
so it was a scary ass match. We both went hard. She trained.
Did you wear a mask when you trained?
We had it didn't cover your face, but it did cover my ears.
Was it the one that come over like?
Nope.
Oh, really?
No, I had a bloody nose. She had a bloody nose. I had a concussion. It was 3-minute rounds. It was gnarly. Okay. Gnarly. You'll have to see the video.
We have 55 seconds.
Okay.
Oh, we're in Denver, so you should pump this.
Do you want me to listen to Stu or listen to Rory?
I don't know fully what she wants.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
She might
Welcome back to DBL.
Yeah, and Sam, let's just do this. Let's get Brent up here. It's your big day.
Yay,
Coming this Thursday. Come on over here. Come on over the side. Yeah. All right, so 4 months of training. Sam, you've had a charity match also. Any tips for Brent?
Okay, so first of all, when you get into the ring, it's really scary. I have 5,000 people watching. Just remember to use your adrenaline. Always keep your, you know more than I do. And then you have long arms too, so are you always going to be left, left, left?
That is all I'm doing is just jab, jab, couple crosses.
Yeah.
Don't give
and
away.
Then duck.
Exactly.
And then duck.
Oh yeah, if my opponent's listening, though.
Bob and weave, bob and weave.
I'm a little nervous right now.
I know. Sammy doesn't play.
It's really scary though. I'm
all right, guys.
Proud of you, buddy.
Come out. Haymakers for Hope.
Haymakers
Come out, Denver.
For Hope.
Thursday.
See you tomorrow, guys.
Join, keep the conversation going.
Hey guys, it's Lex. I'm here with the digital team giving you the top trending news during the break. And right now, Business Insider is reporting Ryan Seacrest has the perfect reply to any email. Yeah, he recently did an interview with the New York Times and said, you know, I have such a busy schedule. This is how I do it. And guess what his go-to term is? It is, got it. 2 words. He replies to all of his emails, got it. He says that everyone wants to say yes, wants to hear yes, and wants to know that you're going to get everything done. So what's your go-to for emails? Do you have something that you reply to everyone? Do you take the time to give a personal message, especially in the workplace? I think my go-to is copy that. Also the same. It's affirmative. What do you think?
What are you talking about?
Ryan Seacrest's go-to for any email reply is got it.
Oh,
yeah.
all right.
He says that to everything. He says people like to hear yes.
At least he responds.
Yeah.
What do you write? Because there's 100. I'm totally changing the subject. Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
You know we have 100 birthdays over here. Well,
Yeah,
not
we do.
100. There's like 70 people here, so all the time we're signing cards. Do you write the same thing or different for each person?
No, I write something different for each person. I try.
I write the same thing for everybody.
What do you
But no one
write?
would know unless you shared your card.
What do
I'm
you
like, happy
write?
birthday, buddy. Crush life. Love, Big Jeff. It's on every card.
I have to check my birthday card now. What do you guys write on birthday cards? Do
Yeah,
you
I
write
wonder
the
if I
same
wrote
thing? You probably did.
Yeah, I think I
I'm gonna
did.
go check it now.
I think I told you to crush life, buddy.
I mean, I'm crushing it.
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
All right.
Cheers to crushing it.
Here's to crushing life, buddy.
Make sure you
Back
comment
to
in our
you.
comment sections. I know now I have to stretch it out alone. Make sure you comment in our comment section what you reply to emails, what you write on birthday cards, if you're more of a personal person where you're trying to make it personable per each person that you're writing to, or if you just have a generic one that you like to go to. Copy that.
Today on Daily Blast Live, Donald Trump goes one-on-one with Kim Jong-Un. Just a historic photo op or the start of a new relationship? A young woman abducted at birth still loves her kidnapper and calls her mom. And DBL Nation is outraged. Plus, something at work could be making you fat. What to watch for? And a surefire shortcut to dry those dishes. What was this dad thinking? Daily Blast Live starts right now.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Tuesday, June 12th, and please welcome special guest co-host Stephanie Jones. There she is. So happy you're up here.
I'm so glad to be here. This is amazing.
I love it. All right, guys, let's get right to it because right now the world is reacting to the historic summit between President Donald Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-Un. The two world leaders met in Singapore for nearly 5 hours. The summit ended with a signed statement. Trump agreed to provide security guarantees to North Korea, and Kim committed to complete denuclearization afterwards. ABC's George Stephanopoulos asked the president, how can he trust a North Korean leader? Here's what the president said.
I can only tell you from my experience, and I met him, I've spoken with him, and I've met him, and this was, as you know, started very early, and it's been very intense. I think that he really wants to do a great job for North Korea. I think he wants to denuke. It's very important. Without that, there's nothing to discuss.
Now, Steph, I'm going to go right to you because we talked about this in the meeting. You split your time between LA and London.
Yeah.
How does England look upon this situation?
If I'm being brutally honest, this is like reality TV on steroids. This is like, you've got a president that's come from a reality, he's got a great business background, but he's from a reality TV show, hanging out in a situation with Kim, which is, it's never happened before. This is a world leader that's assassinated his own family, his own people, throw that in with a basketball player who seems to be their new best mate in between the three of them. It just seems a bit crazy. I think it's a bit scary. It's positive that things are moving forward, but how much I trust what any of them say, I have no idea.
Honest, I like that. How about you guys? Do you believe the president or Kim Jong-un?
Ebony? Oh, to be totally honest, I think that this may be a situation where North Korea actually comes out on top looking good and the United States may be sitting with empty promises. And I say this only because, you know, and I know we talked before, this is a first, but is it a first because of Donald Trump being politically savvy or our prior presidents just being a bit more cautious in what they've known in the past about this particular leader? But, you know, it's up to, I mean, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good thing. I know that you could say 100 bad things, rattle off about each person, but to get something done, isn't something better than nothing? Do you want this guy building nuclear missiles behind a wall, not letting anyone in that country, or would you rather have a meeting with him and kind of try to get to the bottom of it? Granted, it was only 5 hours.
I just think it depends on what that something is. I mean, he talked about the fact that, you know, people who are known to be admirable and he's found out otherwise, and people who have known to be not so admirable and they turn out to be more admirable than the ones who were known for that. I don't think that that is necessarily the case here. I think that there are good reasons for why we haven't, I mean, we've heard the saying, we aren't negotiating with terrorists. I think that this is domestic terrorism and this is a terrorist.
All right, we are live. Brett Forrest has some news at the moment. Brett.
Thanks, Chef. I have an update to a story we've been following. The dancing FBI agent who accidentally shot someone at a bar in Denver turned himself in today after Denver police issued an arrest warrant. This is his mugshot here behind me. And here's video of the incident. The agent drops his gun while dancing and then accidentally shoots someone in the leg when picking it up. He faces second-degree assault charges, but Denver's district attorney has not yet formally charged him. And the agent could still also face disciplinary action from the FBI, but no word yet on what the agency plans to do.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Brett.
I mean, all these unknowns could possibly face. I mean, he could have killed someone. At one point, I said this could have gone horribly wrong. It did because someone got shot, but I just don't understand. Like, I mean, yeah, it's so scary. And I just really think if his skin was of a different color, a different hue, we would be looking at this altogether wrong. He wouldn't be turning himself in. They would have been got him.
Is that fair to say, though?
That's really how I feel.
But I mean, he's an idiot. What matter what color he is?
Oh, I think that if he was a black man at a party, at a club, predominantly white people, and had a gun that went off and shot somebody.
I didn't know that this was, to me, not a racial issue, but.
But I'm saying, but just the fact of him, if he were a brown man, he would not have been turning himself in. He would have been handcuffed right then and there.
I think regardless of his colour, what the hell is he doing out breakdancing with a gun in his pocket that's loaded? Yeah. Like, what the hell? He's not at work. He's at a party. What's going on?
Dancing with a gun in his pocket.
What's going on? It's crazy.
Idiot, nonetheless. All right, guys, ready or not, Kevin Spacey is coming back to the big screen. The disgraced actor has already been scrubbed from other projects because of sexual misconduct allegations against him, but he will star in Billionaire Boys Club that opens next month. It was shot more than 2 years ago, long before his scandal broke. Let's take a look.
I'm from Wall Street. Do you think people really get rich playing by the rules? This deal is worth $250 million. And your lives will never be the same.
Well, one thing's clear. They're definitely making sure that people know that he's playing a bad guy. And I think that that's by design because obviously people aren't going to go to a movie that's celebrating someone who we know to be a sexual predator. So will I go to see it? No, but I don't go to see most movies. I don't know if it's... I mean, I feel like it's a Hail Mary.
But what about the people that, besides Kevin Spacey, because the project is a lot bigger than him.
Right, but that's with every project. Every single person that's gone down has brought people with them. And unfortunately, especially in this line of work, sometimes you're going to get burned. And it's unfortunate that you get burned by someone that you worked with as opposed to something that you did on your own. But sometimes that's life, and it's unfortunate for all of those people, but we've all been there.
I don't think that's fair. That was my first big cameo. I'm an actor. I've spent my life working towards this moment, and then someone else that's got nothing to do with me has acted in a despicable way. I don't want my part, my role that I've worked so hard for, to be diminished and ignored and people not go and see my movie.
But would you rather be attached to a project
I don't think that is being attached at all. I don't think just because I sit next to any of you guys and you go out and do something that affects me personally. Right. No, people should judge me on my character and what I do and my performance and what I say, the things that come out my mouth, not what one of you guys say.
Right. I agree. And he is accused, I have to say, not convicted. All right. Buying quality makeup. That came from the booth.
Oh, no, I'm sure.
All right. Buying quality makeup doesn't have to cost a fortune. Sam Shocker's got a story coming in hot.
That's right. A trending article on nerdwallet.com has the best tips to save on your favorite products. First, sample everything. If you aren't sure if you can commit to a full-size product, reach out to the department store or brand and ask for a free sample. Next, know when to splurge and know when to skimp. Spend a little more on things like foundation and other skin products. Keep it cheap when it comes to eyeliner and mascara. Finally, do your research. Read reviews from Amazon and your favorite beauty bloggers. Their reviews will be honest, and you can see if it will be right for you. DBL Nation, let us know how you save money on cosmetics. I'm dying to know. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Sam. A quick shout out to our nation's capital in Washington, D.C. 100,000 people turned out to cheer on their hometown hockey team, the Capitals. They are celebrating the team's Stanley Cup win. And as you could see, the championship parade took over the streets of Washington as fans lined the streets to catch a glimpse of the team. The Capitals also took this ad in Las Vegas newspaper congratulating the Golden Knights. That's the team they beat to win the Stanley Cup. Is that a nice gesture?
I think it's a very nice gesture. I mean, you know, we come from Chicago, and there's been 6 Stanley Cups. But no, I think that this was the franchise's first year. They made it to the finals, the championship. Like, of course, that's a classy thing to do.
I thought it was very, very classy. And when I looked at it, when they showed that aerial top view, I'm like, I don't know about you guys, but I get kind of excited about parades. What a beautiful day for a parade. The sun, look at it. Look how pretty that is. I just like it. I love when it's pretty outside. I'm sorry. Just get excited about parades.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a nice gesture. It was their first time in the championship, Las Vegas.
Educate me on this.
So they're an expansion team. Usually expansion teams don't even win games.
So this is a big deal, right?
Yes.
This is huge.
Yeah, so this is, do you think that was a nice gesture?
I think it's amazing. Who doesn't love a parade? Who doesn't like get outside? Like,
yes, my girl. I love
it. Outside. I'm down for that.
I love it. All right. Sam Shocker, what's coming up on Daily Blast Live?
Well, a young woman caught between 2 moms, the one who gave birth and the one who kidnapped her. You won't believe what the daughter thinks of the woman who took her. Plus, something that's free at work could be making you gain weight. We'll reveal what that is, and you, the viewer, are our 5th host. Should employers ditch criminal background checks? Your comments next.
We never back down from a good one. That really worked.
I think I made that a little bit more complicated than what it is, but just watch it play.
Don't do one down there. Oh, I go?
Sorry, yeah. I like it. Okay, that's all right.
No one, you don't need to make those sounds.
Formidable opponents.
Get in there. Oh! Who's winning?
I don't know your name.
The Holers.
Who gets happy when you tie? No, we're tied. Yeah.
Come on. Yeah!
This is for you, DBL.
Here we go, Holers.
Oh, no. Oh, my.
For DBL Nation, this one's for you.
The Holers.
No hold.
Yeah. Oh.
And in the house.
Hey, let's go.
Girl, bye.
Have a good night, DBL Nation, and the Chicago Connection. I told you, when I called you out on the challenge, you better be ready to rise to the challenge.
Joe. Winner!
There's only wins and lessons.
Wins and lessons.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Do you have a criminal past? Well, it's the question on job applications that makes some job seekers cringe. But that has changed in St. Louis County. An executive order was signed to remove questions that ask about an applicant's criminal history. So should questions about criminal history be banned from job applications? That's the question, and our viewers are on fire. Jeff, take it away.
Thank you so much, Sam. Let's get right to your comments. Why don't you kick it off, Erica?
All right, leave it off Facebook. If they are trying to find employment, avoid crimes, drugs, and being homeless, give them a chance to be productive. Okay. So that was Lynn John. You know what? I'm thinking about this more. I had a friend who had a criminal history, had gotten caught up in something way in her past, and she's a completely different person now. I don't see any signs of that being who she was. She was in a very interesting predicament, and you know, I think that you should give people the opportunity, but it can't be in an opportunity that's going to be tempting to what their past indiscretion was.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
All right. Very good. And Michael on Facebook writes, it depends on the crime, but I would not hire a criminal. I can't say definitively if I agree with that, just not being able to hire them. I agree with you, Erica, as far as depending on what field it is. But for example, me personally, if I had a child, I would want to see a background check of a babysitter or those type of things. So I can see where companies would want to have that. But I also can see somebody that had something silly in college, and should it really be affecting them trying to get a job at the age of 45? I don't know.
Definitely. And then watching on Facebook, Matt writes, no, criminal history is what protects the company and the customers of that company. If you were caught in the past, it should forever be part of your present and future. Wow. Ooh. I think it just depends what you're doing, right? Because if you did something minor, so in England we have a thing called a fray, where there might have been a bit of a hustle and bustle, maybe a couple of guys had a drink after a night out.
A kerfuffle, a little fight.
Yeah, and that stays on your record for a period of time. But let's say 5, 6, 7 years go past, should you not be able to get a job for that? I think that's really unfair.
All right. Thank you guys so much for your comments. We are live. Kelly Schubert with news at the moment.
Yeah, a milestone birthday makes history today as President George H.W. Bush just became the first living president to turn 94. Bush is celebrating today at his home in Maine. His spokesman says it will be a low-key day, which to Bush is perfection. He won't be in this exclusive club for long, though, as President Jimmy Carter will turn 94 in October. Happy birthday, H.W.
Yeah, 94. Wow.
Yeah.
I heard he jumped out of an airplane at 90.
Really? What?
Yes,
yeah,
he did.
No.
For his 90th birthday.
What an awesome guy. Yes. I'm down with that. No, you know when it was the Olympics in the UK, we had an opening ceremony.
Yeah.
And there was a stunt double of the Queen, and she jumped out of a helicopter with James Bond, and like came down to like open the Olympics.
Really?
It was amazing. But your president actually did it.
You know what's weird? I went skydiving one time, and it was in London.
Really?
Yeah. Isn't that ironic?
There we go.
What a weird day. Yeah, it's on my bucket list.
Oh, I'd be scared.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
All right, it may not officially be summer until next week, but you would know it by your high power bills, right? Sam Shocker has some tips to cut the costs coming in hot.
And who doesn't love cutting costs here? Am I right, studio? We love cutting costs. As the temperatures rise, so does your utility bill. With a little extra work, you could see extra cash in your wallet. First, be smart with your air conditioner. If you're spending the evening in the living room, close doors to other rooms to save your AC from cooling empty places in the house. Next, try to avoid cooking with your oven during the hot summer months. It will heat up your house and cause the AC to work harder. Finally, laundry. Wash clothes in cold water and hang them to dry. If you have to use the dryer, do back-to-back loads so it doesn't waste energy heating up each time. So save your cash for summer fun, not for bills, am I right? Back to you.
All right, thank you, Sam. Coming up on Daily Blast Live, the workplace could be making you heavier. The free stuff that could cost you big time later. And up next, the fan favorite Al Jackson sounds off on the craziest viral videos he could find.
Hey guys, Kelly Schubert with the digital team here. I have a special thing I need to tell you about. So Sam and her husband have a candle company. I'm sure you've heard her talk about it. And get this, her candles have just been put on Anthropology. Sam, tell us about all these candles. This is amazing.
First of all, I have to say that Kelly her support is so genuine.
Of course, this is
She
huge.
already bought one, which to me is just like the most supportive friend ever. So I just want to thank you.
I'm happy to support you.
But it is exciting for my husband and I because when we first started this candle company like 8 years ago, we said to ourselves, what is our dream company to sell to? And it was Anthropology. So it was definitely a dream come true.
You put it out into the universe, and here it is.
Thank you. So we just launched them today. You can go to anthropology.com. You can search Byron & Co. or just search candles, but they're Byron & Co. is the company name. And this is our timestamp candle. So this one, we have different times of day that you want to try and replicate. So like on a Friday, the scent is like more whiskey notes, a little bit more exciting.
Ooh, what is 7:30
That's
Sunday
6:04 on a Friday.
That's 6:04 on a Friday.
And
Sunday. Let's look at Saturday.
Let's go back to Saturday.
Yep, Saturday's a peach mimosa because at 9:27 a.m. What
you need a peach mimosa.
You need a peach mimosa. And then on Sunday we have a little bit of a relaxing fragrance. It's a lavender fragrance, and that one is really good too. They're all.
This is the one I bought to keep the Sunday scaries away. Get that lavender
and it's
in.
Sunday night, so you can unwind from the weekend, try and set yourself up for the week. And they're really great and functional too because they have these little cork lids. So they're great to travel with.
They're affordable.
And cute.
I mean, $24.
Not only affordable, but they're pretty good size, 60 hours of burn time.
Oh, wow.
And what I love about them too is they're really good for multi-purposing.
Oh,
so as soon as you're done
reuse it.
burning it, you got a really cool jar. So I put my makeup brushes in there.
You could even put like some flowers in there
You
when
could
it's
use
done.
it as a
It's so
vase.
cute.
Yeah. So go to Anthropology, Byron & Co. If you can support, that would be awesome because to be honest with you, they test you with that first order.
Yeah, I'll put the link on our YouTube page so you guys can find it easily.
They're great for last-minute gifts when you forget.
And let me know what you think if you do. Let me know what you
on.
think if you do. Love you
Bye,
guys. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you so much.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Happy Tuesday, everybody. It's time now for Al Sounds Off when comedian Al Jackson goes off on the wildest stories he could find. Yeah, buddy. All right, we got a very special birthday later, but we'll save it for the end.
All right.
Our first video is of an experimental new device called the Wamba.
The what?
A Wamba, Al. You never heard of this?
I thought those cleaned your house. No?
That's a Woomba.
Oh, okay.
Wait, this is a Woomba. That's a Wamba. There you go. A musical instrument that allows babies to make music in the womb. Enjoy.
All right.
It's a lullaby created by baby before it's even born. The kicks and movements the baby makes in utero trigger sensors which create the sounds. Its inventors say it's the world's first prenatal musical instrument.
First of all, that's no awe. Did you see that thing that you're putting on your stomach? It's your baby. It's not a planetarium. Let the kid get some sleep. What are you trying to get your kid ready to go to after-hour raves in Moscow? Chill out. And first of all, what if the kid doesn't like classical music? And if it has ears, it probably doesn't. Let's go to the next one.
Our next viral video from an embarrassed Illinois teen who says, My dad actually got the leaf blower out to dry our dishes. Someone help.
Yeah, Jeff, this kid sucks at kids' parties. Keep him away from the cake. I just read an article saying in 2018 more women are staying single, and I wonder why. This guy. And finally, I like this because his kids can look at this and be like, I guess it's okay to bring C's in the house. All right, let's go to the last one.
Our final viral video comes from the Ohio Department of Transportation, who says, pro tip, if your vehicle isn't running properly, pull over. Don't be like this backwards thinker.
Now, Jeff, I like this because I can do this too, but it's usually after 4 cups of coffee and a chalupa.
Why did chalupa?
It helps you it gets things going down there. I do like this because I feel like this guy's such a good driver. He's missing his calling. You know he's driving backwards like, what should I do with my life? Be a stunt driver, brother. You got it. That's Al Sounds Off.
Hey, everybody, and that's comedian Al Jackson.
And more importantly, don't forget, it's our cameraman Rob's birthday. Rob, we love you, brother.
Happy birthday, Rob. Here's one from me. Coming up on Daily Blast Live, Deborah Messing didn't always call the shots. Find out what humiliating things she had to do early in her career, and the power of love. How an old car, a promise, and a husband's devotion make for a tear-jerking date night.
Here's your next surprise from Daily Blast Live. Comedy icon Carol Burnett sits down with Tori Shulman.
Luck has been a big deal for you.
I do feel fortunate.
Don't miss a moment this week on Daily Blast Live.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
We are going to be doing bobbing for apples. You have 1 minute. We're going to do it at the same time. Oh no, my face is way too pretty.
We're going to do dramatic reading now from Night Watch.
Night shift.
Right.
Bleeding in the left lower quadrant.
Tell Cat Scan we're coming as soon as he's tuned.
I'm losing his pulse. Okay, so we're just doing. So you hear everyone? Don't open it. Don't, for God's sake, save the children.
New sunscreen. It's Sea Star Sparkle. It's Sproof 50, so you're actually getting some protection from the sun.
SPF, by the way.
Okay, I say Sproof.
So today we're playing Big Mouth. Jeff and Tori each have a minute to guess trending headlines they can give to the other player.
You're freaking me out. Bill, you lost on your own question.
Yeah, I can't even remember my own dialogue.
Bill came in second.
Tori's gonna win.
Similar.
Oh, it's big, guys.
You have it wrapped in your hand.
That is a pretty
It looks just
big.
like that.
It does. It does look like. This is how it's done right here.
Hey everybody, it's Samantha Harris. Welcome to Dancing with the Hosts. That's right, puppies.
Why don't you go to the moon?
We want it. Watch me on Blind Date on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's there. Excuse me, I'm gonna go find that. We found the clip that you so embarrassing.
I make my jazz out so every time you walk
Start the date with Jordan Braun's jazz hands.
Everybody thought I don't know comics. Really ticks me off.
Favorite thing ever is emoji. Headline, today's headline with emojis. Jeff and I try to figure it out. Okay, Nestle paid for the rights to sell Starbucks. Sell Starbucks!
No, I want nothing to do with this, so I'm leaving.
We want to make sure you guys are informed because what is information? Power! And knowledge!
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Today's Heart Threads is all about the distances we will go for true love. Bob drove over 1,000 miles just to take his wife on a date. Grab your tissues and take a look.
This man drove a beat-up car 1,200 miles so he could take his wife on a date. Kathy was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 1978, not long after she had married Bob Hugsby. Bob cared for Kathy as her condition worsened. 6 years ago, Bob could no longer care for Kathy at home and reluctantly found a 24-hour care facility for her. Kathy's condition kept her confined to the facility.
The only way she can go anywhere now is they drive her electric wheelchair up into a cargo van, strap her down like cargo, and take her to the doctor's office. That's all she gets.
Kathy drove a cabriolet when she got married, and that memory gave Bob an idea. Kathy could be lowered into a convertible and go for a ride. So Bob bought an '85 cabriolet in Texas and drove it back to Minnesota. Now Bob and Kathy have a way to get out and enjoy a day together.
We were just thinking about that. How many years ago has it been since we had a quote-unquote date? We don't do dates. I mean, that's what, no.
It's another lifetime. I love you.
I love you too.
That's why it's called Heart Threads. Pulls on your heart. Oh, I love love. And the things that you do for love, you know what I mean? That was so beautiful.
How thoughtful. What a guy.
Right?
Yeah, that's like relationship goals. That's when you look at someone and you're like, when I'm older, I want that to be me.
Right.
My husband told me once, you have to take the time to make the time, and I was like, you do have to take the time to make the time.
Do you guys just give quotes to each other back and forth to help? Inspirational quotes?
Yes, I was talking to Anthony last night. He said, you know the pot can't talk about the kettle. You know what, Anthony? You're right.
You know Anthony would do that for you. That's an Anthony move.
Cute.
All right, guys, you can still watch us live on Facebook and YouTube. Here's what's coming up on Daily Blast Live.
Torn between two mothers. A daughter says she still loves the woman who snatched her at birth.
I still do call her mom.
And this has DBL Nation fired up. Fake it till you make it. Emmy winner Deborah Messing reveals what she was urged to do early in her career. And something in the workplace could be derailing your waistline. What to avoid when Daily Blast Live comes back.
Felons, whether you would hire them or not. Arledia DeHart says not hiring someone who served their time ensures that they will have to return to crime to make a living.
Yeah. It's true. It's sad. Give everyone a chance, guys.
Yeah. Well, I referenced an acquaintance of mine who, I mean, that's exactly what happened. Like, this was a person who was just very hard on their luck from birth until they became an adult. And when they were a child, they did some illegal activities in order to, like, get by, and barely did. And now it's like 20 years later, and they've come up on criminal background checks for things that have nothing to do with what they actually did. You know?
I really respect companies like FedEx. There's a few other ones out there. I don't want to misquote or miscall the names that have different departments, or there are certain jobs that people can do that if you have a record or have been convicted of a felony, you can still, you know what I mean?
I wonder if there's any websites that give you that information.
I'm sure there are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe not in the corporate arena where they work with money directly, but maybe more of the, you know, package. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Tell us what you think.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Let's welcome our guest host, Stephanie Jones, right there.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
I just want to talk with an accent, but I'll embarrass myself.
Everywhere I go in the studio, everyone's like, hello.
And I can't help it. So try to talk without your accent. If you had to say, hello, I'm glad to be at Daily Blast Live, how would you say it?
Oh, God, that's really hard. What, in another British accent? Or in general?
In general, yeah, like if you were saying it without the accent.
I don't know how. I don't even know how I can do that.
You don't make an American accent like we do a British accent.
American. Why, hello there. Welcome to Daily Blast Live. My name's Stephanie.
That was really good.
I don't know where I'm from, but I'm embracing this.
I would buy it.
I know, that was great.
I like
it. Sounds like Carolina, Virginia, kind of.
I'll take that.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's move on because we can't stop talking about this story, and it's a serious one. Kamiyah Mobley is a 19-year-old woman stuck in the middle of an unthinkable tragedy. She was snatched from the hospital just hours after she was born and raised to believe that her kidnapper was her mother. For more than 18 years now, the woman, Gloria Williams, obviously is in jail, and Kamiyah is trying to come to terms with her life. Here's what she said to Good Morning America about her relationship with her kidnapper.
What about Gloria Williams?
We actually talked today.
You talked to her today?
Oh, yeah.
How often do you talk to her?
I say about every 3 days, every 2-3 days. I probably get called like sometimes once a week, probably twice a week. Sometimes more than that, depends.
Last time we talked, you said you still considered her your mother.
I still do call her mom.
I feel for that little girl, and I have strong emotions for every single person in this situation. You know, the kidnapper is despicable. I have hate for that person.
Right.
Taking someone's child after they were born, and then what the pain and suffering that she caused her birth mother.
Right.
I mean,
the thing about it, though, Jeff, is like you referred to her as a kidnapper, so that they, in this piece, she doesn't see her as a kidnapper. She sees her as her mother, and they still talk and have a relationship, and she sees her as the one that was there for her 3rd birthday when she turned 16 and when she went to the prom and all of that. And that's what's really, really tough, that she robbed the biological mother of this relationship with her. But Kamiyah is 19 right now, and I've seen her in other interviews, and she clearly loves the relationship that she has now with the kidnapper.
Right. I'm not surprised by where Kamiyah is coming from. I mean, we all know people who have less than amazing parents, and they've maybe done terrible things to them. But the love, the unconditional love that you have for someone who you've known as your mother is just something that isn't just going to go away. And I mean, my heart goes out to the birth mother, because this has to be a re-traumatization of what happened 19 years ago. But this Kamiyah is 19. That means she's an adult, and she is free to make her own decisions. And I hope that time will heal this situation in any way that is possible.
Well, I just hope that, you know, that the biological mother gets her chance to rebuild her bond with her daughter, because that must be so heartbreaking. I feel for them both.
I can't even imagine. All right, guys, we are live. Raquel Villanueva has news at the moment.
Yeah, Jeff, this is just in. Angelina Jolie could lose physical custody of her kids. Reports say that if she continues to limit Brad Pitt's access to their 6 kids, she'll lose primary custody. A judge in their case believes it is harmful to keep Brad from the kids, even ordering Angelina to give Brad the cell phone numbers to each of the kids so he can talk to them whenever he wants. Now, the couple separated in September of 2016, and the court says the kids are safe with their father.
When will Brad get to see all the kids soon?
Yeah, he can have access to them this summer for a few hours each day.
Oh, man.
Yeah, she's wrong for that. I mean, yeah, those are his kids too, and if the judge ruled that he gets to see them, then they need to get to see them. So many people want to be able to even spend time with both of their parents, whether they're together or not. And I think that the kids should not get caught up in their whatever their issues are. Yeah, she's wrong.
Sad. All right, we got to see a lot of the British royals this weekend. There you go, with the Duchess of Cambridge, Kate Middleton, taking center stage at the Queen's celebrations on Saturday. But guess what? That may be the last time you see her until October. This as she takes a 6-month maternity leave. Stephanie Jones, you're from London. What a coincidence here.
Wow, I mean, I think as a British person, I think we're very privileged compared to Americans that are in the same situation, because your maternity leave is, how long do you guys get?
It depends on the company.
Who you work for.
Exactly.
See,
it's not standard across the board.
So in the UK, you're entitled to 37 weeks paid, and the first 6 weeks are paid at 90% of your salary, and then you can get up to 50 weeks off work, and you can even co-share that with the partner.
Right.
So let's say, Jeff, you want to have half that time, your wife wants to have half that time, you can share. I mean, wow.
What a great way to do things.
Yeah, I think it's right. When you have a newborn baby, you need to build that bond. You've just, you know, you want to spend time with the baby, you know? I think it's important.
I mean, we're about to have a baby. I think we should make a London example in America, and I should get 25 weeks off. I'll split the time.
Hey, I mean, that's the same way in Canada.
Yeah.
My husband works for a Canadian company. They get about a year, and you can split it between the mother and the father, however you see fit. And it's a very flexible situation. They definitely seem happier than a lot of Americans. There you go.
So when you're taking off work, Erica?
Did I say
Are you having a baby?
No, I'm
wearing
a big top.
Okay.
Don't start rumors.
Auntie's ready over here.
I definitely think Kate doesn't have anything to worry about with hers, though. She's got a lot of people looking after her and her baby.
and
So
I think-
she's going to be fine.
I think a lot of the people do what you do in around the world, and I think we need, honestly, we need to take example of that.
Yeah.
We work too hard here. Not here in general, in America. All right, Deborah Messing got real about what it took to make it in Hollywood. The Will and Grace star revealed that on her first sitcom, she was forced by a network exec to wear fake boobs. The comments were made at Variety's Actors on Actors series. Watch. Oh, watch what? Discuss. Let's talk about it.
Well, that just made me think, if you were made to do anything that made you feel uncomfortable during that sexy video, that you jump-started your career.
Well, I might have gotten nervous, and that's why I said watch, and I just tried to skip over it. But here you go.
Yeah, look at those eyes.
Did you feel,
were you totally comfortable with this, Jeff?
I was going to say, do you feel comfortable when you
No, I was not comfortable.
I'm very uncomfortable right now, but it's hilarious.
Do you have to tell yourself something before you do like an on-screen kiss?
There was 20 people around the room.
so
the water was freezing cold. There was nothing sexy about that.
Were you
But it was one of my
wrinkly?
first jobs.
Had you got so
that
wrinkly,
is
been in there
the most
so long?
embarrassing thing I've ever seen in my life. When I went. All right, let's embarrass some other people here. Who else do we got?
Ebony, I think that you might have something that
I gotta walk around first. Okay, I wasn't a stripper. I was working for a radio station, and these were our guests. And then they taught me how a thought. I don't know who that is or what that's about. And I go up and move nowhere.
That's
that was
those are
embarrassing.
quantifiable skills. You know,
if you can do them, they're skills if you can do them. I would think.
Erica.
But hold on, baby. You ain't been sitting there in that pretty yellow shirt like this, all. There you go.
Morning Drive Diva coming to you from South Chicago Nissan. And for this baby, I had to get inside. We are talking red leather seats. I feel like a vixen.
You talking red leather seats? What? What comes after that? The growl.
Do you have anything for us?
I'm good because I'm new to the panel. No one's got anything of mine, so that's fine.
We're gonna find
I'm just gonna laugh at yours.
I wish you could. Well, that wasn't even embarrassing. That was good, but we could have replayed the American accent. You just want to do it for us again?
Yeah.
Hey y'all, welcome to Daily Blast Live.
There you go. What a good sport. All right, guys. Did you ever wonder why you can't lose weight? Blame your job. A new study finds that free food around the office can add up to 1,300 extra calories a week to your diet. Woof. For proof of that, look at what happened earlier today in our studio. And that's me eating a donut.
Tucking in.
Dude, I can't. I have no self-control.
In your defense, those are really good donuts.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, and we don't need to replay it. But I mean, for real, some people, you know, I don't know if people know, but you know, usually they have green rooms or craft services stocked with food when you go to a set. We're a daily show, we don't have that. I'm glad we don't have that. Once in a while, I'd like a snack, but I would really put on the pounds.
It's hard. I remember my first year in morning radio, I did not gain a freshman 15 in college, but my first year in morning radio, I gained the morning radio 20. Because we would get pizzas. We would do this thing called Pizza for Plugs, and people would bring in pizzas. And one day we got 25 deep dish pizzas, and I brought like half of them home. I don't even know
they
what
made you. They made you take.
Well, I don't like to waste food.
Okay, Erica.
I don't.
Yeah, they just forced you. I know.
It was good.
I get it. I get it. All right. Do you know what summer's hottest accessory is? Well, Al Fashion Jackson does, and he's got this trend coming in hot.
Jeff, of course I know. I mean, Jeff, you and I have been talking about this article, but according to Vogue, the hair scarf is this summer's must-have accessory. That's right. We've seen those models strutting down the runway wearing them, and you know, Gucci and Valentino resort shows. Now, style icon, my girl, my inspiration, Jackie O, was known for her headscarves. I don't have to tell you guys that. And you can channel your inner icon as well. But You might be wondering how to properly wear one. First step, shame your family. Second, we're going to show you how, so check it out.
2018's hottest summer trend is wearing headscarves just like Jackie O used to wear.
I look fabulous.
Oh, I'm always fashionable when I'm writing my scripts.
I can't believe you're making me be Jackie O.
It's Al Fashion Jackson here. I know everybody's like, well, what are you wearing? It's Jackie O season. Head scarves are in style, so I'm sorry, Jackie O. Now it's Jackie A.
No photos.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. I think we look great. What do you guys think? Back to y'all.
Al, that was a tight shot, Al. They got in there, buddy.
Thank you. Hey, listen, I'm a beautiful man. I got to do what I do. Excuse me.
Wait, that's so funny.
I know one Jackie that's going to have a lot of questions, and it's not it's Jackie, Al's mama.
All right, we have a Panda Palooza. Sam, you have more trending stories. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do. It's a panda baby boom in China today. Just call it pandemonium. The Panda Breeding Center has 2 new sets of twins to show off, a male and female pair born on June 5th and a pair of girls born on May 23rd. Oh, look how adorable they are. Aw, Justin Theroux has just adopted this adorable pit bull named Kuma. The sweet pup was rescued after Hurricane Harvey. Now she's traveling the world, living the Hollywood life she deserves. Congrats. And this retired special ed teacher in New Jersey left $1 million to help the type of students she devoted her life to serving. Years ago, she told her boss that she would donate $1 million when she died, and he thought she was kidding. Now her generosity is proving to be very real and very inspiring. Wow. Coming up on Daily Bus Live, are Megyn Kelly's days numbered as a Today Show host? The shakeup that could be coming, and a children's book that not only helps kids get over their bad days, but proceeds go to saving lives. It's our DBL Spotlight. You don't want to miss it.
Hey guys, it's Brooke and Angelica with the DBL Digital team.
And here's your Week 3 Bachelorette Blast. But if you're like the rest of America and you tried to watch last night's episode, it looked like this.
BC News Special Report.
But luckily for you, we have a full recap starting now. So this week started off with the group date. It was a spa day. A bunch of her former friends from The Bachelor showed up to enjoy a nice spa day with all the men.
So, my special clients, my girlfriends.
Of course, there was drama because Tia had a past relationship with current contestant Colton.
You dated. And so,
Oh, you guys serious?
yeah.
Seeing him again in this situation is just a little nerve-wracking.
But Becca decided she could put all of that behind her, and Colton actually ended up getting the group rose.
I am just looking forward to our story.
Next was the one-on-one date with Chris, and things got romantic at a recording studio where they wrote songs about each other.
Those eyes give me hope. The idea of seeing you at the end of this.
And singer Richard Marx actually helped them through the process. You know the guy who sang, I'll be right here waiting. Chris knows it. The second group date, the guys were totally in their element. They played football to win Becca's heart.
I feel like this is perfect for you. Former pro football player Clay was an all-star player. It got into a tie game, and he ended up hurting his wrist pretty bad. He had to go to the hospital. But his injury was so bad, he decided he did not want to stay because he wanted to go back home and focus on football, so he gave the rose back to Becca.
Safe to say Becca was not happy about Clay's move, and there wasn't even a rose ceremony.
The scandal of the week goes to David, and boy, was this a good one.
There's blood everywhere.
The producers built it up so much, it looked like he had been in a fist fight. But actually, Chicken David fell out of his bunk bed.
Busted nose, busted face.
Thankfully, he is okay, but you have to admit, it's kind of funny that he fell out of his bunk bed.
It was funny, and the producers made it look like his tiff with Jordan is what caused the blood everywhere. But thankfully, he's okay and on to the next week. All right, well, that's week 3.
We'll see you next week.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Today, we are shining the DBL spotlight on perspective. It's a new book that teaches kids how to get through bad days. Colorado mom Lindsay Beaudreau wants to give kids the tools they need to get through tough, rough days in her children's book, What a Day. Lindsay was inspired by a tough day she had 9 years ago when her brother's heart stopped at the local swimming pool. Fortunately, a defibrillator saved his life. In her book, What a Day, a little boy gets sadder and sadder when things just don't go his way until his mom helps give him perspective. Mother and author Lindsay Beaudreau joins us now. What a Day follows a young boy as he has a tough day. What can parents do to help their kids see the bright side in difficult situations?
Well, I think there's a lot of things. You know, I wrote this book for my son. I wanted him to know that he would have hard days, days that didn't go his way. You know, in this particular book, I want him to be able to lean on his faith and his trust and his love in God and know that he's not alone.
Wow, and you have such a giving heart, and we understand that your proceeds are going toward a cause that's actually close to your heart. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, my brother had a cardiac arrest when he was 19, so that was about 9 years ago, and he survived. He's actually he's a doctor now, he's a surgeon. So in making this book, I wanted to be able to give back, and this foundation, Play with Heart, gives a lot back to the community. So this is just, you know, a small way for me to give back as well.
Right. And what are your brother's thoughts on you writing this book?
He was surprised, as was everyone else. I mean, I wasn't planning on writing a book. It started because I was up late with my daughter, my third baby, who doesn't sleep much. And I sort of just woke up one morning, well, after not sleeping much, and I was, you know, so excited to tell everyone, like, I think I wrote a book.
Have your kids, have they read the book, and what have they had to say?
Yeah, my son, he can basically memorize it, so he loves it, and it's been really great. I get out to a couple schools, I do some readings at some local schools and churches, and so the kids are really happy. One of the best times, actually, the day that the book released, I got to go to my son's school and read the book to him, so that was super fun.
Lindsay, thank you so much for joining us. You can get more information at whatadaybooks.com.
Thank you so much.
We are live. Raquel Villanueva with news at this moment. Raquel.
Well, thanks, Ebony. Megyn Kelly might be getting a new time slot. A new report out says NBC is considering reshuffling its morning shows by pushing Megyn Kelly back an hour and moving Kathie Lee and Hoda Kotb up an hour. Now, Kelly has had a hard time attracting viewers since debuting her hour of Today in September.
Wow. Is this fair to Kathie Lee and Hoda that their time slot, people are tuned in to see them?
I mean, for Hoda Kotb, it'd be a good thing because then she could start from 7 a.m. and go to 10 a.m. and not have that hour break in between and just be done with it. But that's just what some insiders are saying.
Oh, what a schedule.
Yeah.
That'd be great, wouldn't it?
That'd be nice.
Yeah. We all went into thought here like, whoa.
CoverGirl has been around for years, but this next story is a first for the brand. Al Jackson has the exciting news coming in hot.
Jeff, listen up, brother. Attention makeup fans. That's right, CoverGirl is getting its own store, finally. The mega beauty brand is opening its first standalone shop in Times Square. The store will feature interactive activities, full-service makeup, and other on-the-go services. Isn't all makeup on the go? The billboard features Mae Musk, a CoverGirl who's still doing the thing at 70 years old. You can clap for that. How about, or stay silent. Let's treat this like a dentist's office. So far, there's no opening date, but it's in New York City and it's 80 feet tall in Manhattan. You'll find it. Al, Fast, and Jackson, don't worry about me. I'll keep you posted.
Yeah. Mae Musk. That's Elon's mama, and she is all of that.
She is so tight.
Sexy.
She should be there for the grand opening, and Janelle Monáe and Queen Latifah, they're CoverGirls too. Wouldn't that be great?
All right, coming up on Daily Blast Live, our puppy pitchman Roman reaches a milestone. His story's next.
Here's your next surprise from Daily Blast Live. Comedy icon Carol Burnett sits down with Tori Schulman.
Luck has been a big deal for you.
I do feel fortunate.
Don't miss a moment this week on Daily Blast Live.
No, no, no.
Good, Jeff.
No, no, no. Dude, that was a great shot.
All right.
That was a great shot.
Thank you, sir.
Wow. There we go.
Okay, you threw the panini, so you get to go first.
Paulini.
Paulini. Tell that Paulini I'm gonna see it soon.
Woo! Oh!
This one is called the Drunken Swan.
This one's called SpongeBob SquarePants.
I'm gonna call this throw Kevin Costner. It's the bodyguard. Oh, come on, Kevin. That's Kevin.
This one's called Das Boot.
Operation Condor. I gotta go rescue it.
This one's called the Closer, because we're coming to the end here. This one's called the Biff.
All right on the edge of the
You're bocce trash talking.
That's, uh-oh, that looks good. Oh.
Turn in. Oh, I don't think it did anything. All right, Al. You went for it all there.
I just wanted to try and break it up. Oh, uh-oh, I think you are a ringer. What is this?
Wow! All right, Al, we might need this tape measure.
Okay. I thought we were just gonna eyeball it. The tape measure makes sense now.
All right, we're tied up at 3. What do you think? We don't have all day. Next point wins?
Next point wins. This is the chocolate tornado. There's gonna be a little spin on it, but it's coming from a brown hand. All right, sometimes tornadoes don't want to go. They don't go where you think they're gonna go. This one's for Willie Bertier. Yeah. Looks good. No!
Oh, I put you closer.
That was a crazy shot, though. Okay.
So all you gotta do is get it like right on top of your red ball.
Or I could completely ruin this nice thing I have going.
Yes. It's very nerve-wracking. I'm getting sweaty armpits, Al.
That's right. Call this the ice cube toss.
All right.
All right. I don't think we need the ruler for that one.
All right, all right, all right, all right.
All right, looking good there, Schroeder. This is called the hungover giraffe.
Ooh.
Welcome back to DBL. In 2 years, our DBL puppy pitchman Roman has found homes for more than 1,000 dogs. Wow, Roman. And he's spending part of the summer spreading the word about the importance of adopting rescues. Here's Roman.
I am here at
Dogchella.
Dogchella.
And where is Dogchella?
Oregon.
Oregon.
Roman and his dog Rue hit the road for Dogchella.
I am bringing my 2 friends in.
Dogchella is Project Freedom Ride's big fundraiser in Beaverton, Oregon. The event raised around $900 that will help Roman and his mom Jen find forever homes for Roman's rescues.
I had one question. How do you guys think the event is going?
I think we're having awesome. Yeah, good fun.
And our little Roman has got a legion of fans. Check this out.
This is my friend Roman. I've been wanting to meet him for the longest time. What do you like best about rescuing dogs?
Handing the dog to their owner.
Oh, I bet that would be exciting.
It's actually my part of Project Freedom Ride.
Oh, that's kind of your job.
Yeah, it's my job.
Roman and his mom say they are so humbled and honored by everyone who supports their cause. Way to go, Roman!
We are live, Brett Forrest, with news at the moment.
Thank you, Jeff. The U.S. had a record-breaking year for charitable donations in 2017, according to a new report out today from Giving USA. As you see here, it marks the first time overall donations crossed the $400 billion mark. Individual contributions accounted for 70% of the total, while corporations made up 5%. Religion was the largest charitable cause, bringing in about 1/3 of total giving. That was followed by education and then human services. I just want to say I'm glad to see we are all still donating even in these divisive times.
Well, Brett, you're involved in a little charity work this Thursday, aren't you?
That's right, Jeff. I'm fighting in a charity boxing fight this Thursday through Haymakers for Hope. 3 rounds in the ring with another amateur boxer, and all the money I'm raising goes to fight pediatric cancer at the Children's Hospital of Colorado.
Ooh, good on you, Brett Forrest.
But Brett,
I love that.
You got to protect that moneymaker, man.
Yeah.
I think black guys are kind of cool, so maybe.
He'll be in next week, The Shiner.
But all for a good cause.
Oh, for a good cause, yeah.
All right, guys, we'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
Are we on? So how did you enjoy your first day on the panel?
Amazing!
amazing. It was so much fun. I've literally had the most fun ever. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed having me. It's been awesome.
And she's known as a pop culture guru and also a fashionista. What fashion tips would you give for people this summer?
Oh, fashion tips this summer.
Or if you're traveling, what are 3 things that we should take on a vacation if you're female? Like.
Oh, wow. Okay, so always take a sarong because a wraparound is like the perfect way to, if you're going out on the beach, you can cover yourself up really quickly. If you're going to a restaurant or going for a drink, don't be caught out because that's the worst thing ever if you want to leave the beach and you feel half dressed. 1 second.
You got your earpiece on?
I can't really hear anything, I'm not going to lie. I can hear you.
So wear a sarong because the sarong is really going to be good for going to the beach and then back to land. And always wear a good pair of sandals, one pair that's casual, then one that can go both ways.
Someone's going to tell me something.
What?
I think
Maybe
someone's
Stu.
going to tell me
All right,
something.
guys. So real quick, we have 20 seconds when we come back.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Stephanie, is there something that you wanted to ask us?
Yeah, seeing as you guys have been making me try my American accent, I want to hear your British accents before I go. So come on, hit me up. Go on, Ebony.
Oh, Daily Blast Live.
Daily Blast Live!
Daily Blast Live.
All right, guys, let's see you tomorrow. That's Tuesday.
Thank you.
Was mine.